Who that family? Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that too.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that? What's going on, family? Who that to the Black and Gold family members in the live stream? Much love to you and yours on this edition of the Coma. Big ups to the family members chiming in this version of the show. Much love to you and yours. Thank y'all for joining us on the TSC virtual tailgate recap, of course, of the matchup versus the San Francisco 49ers, who played as tough as I knew they was going to be. You know, despite the fact that they were missing a lot of personnel, but this is a scrappy team, man. And Shanahan is a pretty damn good coach in his own right, and he was able to try to make a game of this thing. My major concern was that Coach Payton would stay in pocket. Emotionally, he did just that. He called a pretty solid game, although at times I was thinking that, man, would you please cut out the screens, bro? You can't. This team is fast, sideline to sideline. You know, I got a little annoyed with that at first. But then when they started to hit him with Latavius Murray on the back end of the game, that should have been a play. You know, attack this defense in the center. You know, their fast side. I told the family members about Fred Warner. I told them about those other guys. You know, those linebackers are pretty good. But punch this damn team in their mouth. The Saints did a pretty decent job. Some errors. Wasn't as clean as I would like. Love how Chauncey Gardner-Johnson played. But man, oh man, did we not come out of this game clean from injuries. And that was one of the key concerns. Like, let's beat this team, and then let's come out of this thing here as clean as we possibly can. And, of course, the biggest question that a lot of family members are going to talk about is, of course, what's up with Drew? And that'll be the main thing going into the week. But he got an MRI scramble. But my thing is, I don't think it's busted broken ribs, but bruised ribs could keep him out of the Atlanta Falcons game. And boy, does Jameis Winston does not look good. Overthrowing guys. Boy, we need to get Jameis some work. The question was, if something happened to Drew, who would step in? And of course it would be Jameis Winston, because Sean would not dare eliminate his Taysom Hill package. And he most certainly did. So it almost looked like a quarterback, a college-style system we running now. Did it look like that to y'all? It looked like a goddamn college quarterback system, two-headed quarterback system that they run. One guy comes in. I mean, the only problem with going to the future if Drew can't get ready to go is what does that look like? I mean, Jameis is going to need those reps so that he can become a lot more gather a rhythm, taking him out and putting. This is going to be something, man. We're just going to have to see how it shakes moving forward, man. But it looks like bruised ribs to me. That guy landed on top of Drew, and he beat the rookie. Once the goddamn rookie gave up the sack that got him hurt. He beat the hell out of Ruiz. Ruiz gave up the hit. He hit Drew and slammed him on the ground and landed on top of him. And we got bruised ribs, man. And that's why I keep saying about these goddamn offensive lineman rookies. He looking good, but that's what rookies get you as well. Well, then again, we can blame the rookie all we want, but usually our quarterback don't take no kind of hits like that. And when they do, ultimately we start looking. That's how Andrews Pete caught it last year. Well, a lot of people was pissed off at Andrews Pete. I guess Ruiz going to catch it now, but I guess people will then say, Q, he's a rookie. But anyway, before we get going, I'd like to thank all the great Saint Think Tank family members for chiming in. I'm firing it up a little later. I had my boys with me, and I really didn't want to fire it up because I wouldn't have been able to fire it up for too long. This way I get a little bit more time to spend with you. So I'm asking the family members in the chat, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you haven't hit upon a like button, please hit that big ass thumbs up button. It helps out the stream exponentially. And I'm going to give some of the family members down big time. Kevin, he says, Q, recall. I didn't even look at it. But he said, no. Kevin says, recall you saying just before the game, we should have kept Larry Warford, no diss to Louise. But trusting the rookie with your veteran quarterback health is taking toll on Drew Brees' body. I didn't even say that, Kevin. Kindly who that to you, bro. But I started it off with that, and I guess we all in the same alignment, but let's not be too hard on him because I think it's just bruised ribs. I don't think it's something broken. But listen to me, man, that's tough, and if we lose Drew right now, hopefully we lost Mike for extended periods of time. We've gathered. A lot of people wanted to see what Jameis Winston looks like. Well, he didn't look too good in this one. But with some more practice, let's see because Drew might very well miss a few more games. We'll have to see. The MRI is tomorrow. I'll cover that news with you, by the way. We'll go over that. I'll share my screen momentarily. I'm going to go over the roll call with the family members. Big ups to the rest of the family members. Nola Bars. What's up, baby? Tyra, what's happening, baby? Good to see you in the chat. Brother Jamal, who that to you? He says Q starting late. Now, I mean, this was a better way of doing it, bro. Starting it, man. Of course, y'all know I'm a father. I'm a father, man, and I place a big onus on spending time with my sons. I just think that I would do it better. It'd be more of a service if I could do it at this time. That way, I can do 2 hours with you guys or 2.5 hours, and then remember, there's always a Monday reaction show again. So always do the recap after the game. And then a reaction show on Mondays just to catch up. So big ups to him. Thank you, Kai, for joining us. He says great win today. Game balls to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Demario Davis, Elvin Kamara, Marquez Callaway, who came up big. Yes, he did. And the 49ers kind of shot themselves in the foot a lot of this, Yeah, and I think it's just bruised ribs. Thank you, Kai. JT, who that to you, bro? Big ups to you. Good to see you in the chat. Uncle Paul is in the building. Big ups to you. Uncle Paul says Winston was not impressive. And the running game better be ready. See, and of course, you're going to need that goddamn running game if Drew can't go. You're going to have to get that running game together. You're going to have to lean on Latavius Murray, Alvin Kamara, Ty Montgomery, and guys like that to run the ball if Drew, because I don't think Drew's going to be ready for that Atlanta game, fam. The Saints sitting up here, we looking good. We looking good, fam, but it came at a cost, man. Good grief. It came at a cost. We might lose Drew, depending on the MRI. Drew might be out. Definitely this Atlanta game is in question. They threw that out there, but he's already dealing in a little break, 1 game break perhaps will do Drew all right. And, we got a little leverage. I ain't going to say a lot because you still got the Packers right there. But the reality is the Saints must lean on the running game. So another blessing in disguise to the Who Dat Nation as well as if Drew can't go, man. I don't think this is something that'll sit him down for the entire season, but damn, and that was the thing. I just wanted to get out of this game clean. KB, who that to I'm fighting to keep my eyes open. I'm about to take a nap. Thank you, KB, for joining us. Much love to you and Yearns. Brewman, what's up, fam? Good to see you. Says defense really stepped up tonight. Yeah, they're still playing with that glow, as the old Bruce Leroy movie, The Last Dragon, said. They're playing, they got that glow. Ain't no doubt about it. They playing with that glow. John Thompson, big ups to you, bro. Good to see you in the chat. 985 Live, who that to you? Lee Wood in the building. Travis 504, who that to you? Furry 318, who that to you? Javier, who that to you? Says Winston needs to play better than that. Lucky Saints D and 9 special teams helped us. Yeah, a couple of botches that did it. LMAO says, bro, chill out. Winston hadn't been practiced with the first team. Yeah, more reps to make Winston look a lot better. He was sailing some passes a little high, but that's rhythmatic. You know, if he's the center point of the offense coming into the game against the Falcons, I think he does a lot better, man. He does a lot better. He can, and then it opens up that deep ball too. The Saints can launch that deep ball downfield too. So this will be some valuable minutes. A lot of people wanted to see Jameis Winston out there. He'll get an opportunity. So Arnold, who that to you, bro? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Big ups to you, Jermaine Scobie. Big ups to you as well, bro. Big ups to the rest of the family members. Robert Clark, who that to you, brother Crass in the building. Good to see you. Said Ruiz was bad today. Yeah, that one's gonna hurt from the rookie because he got Drew Brees hurt. And let me tell you something, that's not a good feeling. So you know he gonna catch hell from the Who Dat Nation because he didn't do his job on that one. Let the guy pancake Drew Brees and knock him out of the game. And when that happened, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm hoping it ain't nothing broken. And the MRI will be probably one of the most popular MRIs we've seen in some time when we get to know exactly what it is. So I don't think it's going to be nothing too bad. But boy, did we come out of this game with a few bumps and bruises, man. We get too many bumps and bruises for a team like this. You know, no disrespect to him. Laura, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat. Trey Joseph, big ups. He said, I have faith in Jameis for the long run, but why did he look so scared? He's a veteran quarterback. Coming in like that, bro, is a shock to the system. Jameis hadn't started in a while. He hadn't got a full grasp of the system. And the Saints will have to work with Jameis, man, and they will. They will. Rui, Sat Scott, big ups to you, bro. And a lot of people, I know, Ruiz. I know, bro. Trail, who that to you, Trail? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to you. And all the family members. Lit Cookies, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in this chat. Straight Booming Podcast, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. FBH Official, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. Thank you for joining us today. RG, what's up, fam? Who that to you? Thank you for joining us as well. Big ups to you as well. Brandon, who that to you? The Who Dat Daddy. Big ups to you, Brandon. Much love to you. Thank you for joining the show, bro. J Rock, who that to you? Big ups to you, fam, as well. DJ, big ups to you. Thank you for being here. Annie, what's up, Annie? Big ups to you, baby. Good to see you in the chat. Much love to you. Thank you for joining us today. And let's see who else we got here. All right, Nat Ba says, who that? What's up, Nat Ba? Who that to you, bro? Thank you for joining the live stream today as well. Big ups to you and Yearns, and appreciate the chiming in today. All right, and all the family members. I don't want to leave anybody else. You know how we do. We do our roll call here. DLP, what's up, DLP? Good to see you, fam. Says Saints have to come out playing fast and smart the next game. Motivated. That's right. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here. Quincy, what's up, Quincy? How you doing, fam? He says all our QBs fumbled the ball today. That is true. We got to fix that. We still came out with the win. Tragic. What's up, fam? Good to see you, bro. 504 High Boy, who that to you, fam? Big ups to you and Yearns. William, what's up, William? He says, what came of Marshawn and Chauncey Gardner's injuries? We're going to overlook that, bro. We're going to take a look at that in this one. Trey Blewett, who that to you? Good to see you, bro. Big ups to you. Till. My dog Till in the building. Big ups to you. Travis, what's up, Travis? Daisy, who that to you, fam? Much love to you. Phil Throdox, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. Thank you for joining the show. Randy, what's up, Randy? Who that, bro? Big ups to you. Leo, what's up, Leo? He said that boy deliberately crushed Brees for saying what he said in the past is going to be like that all season. Hope he gets well. Who that? Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. I ain't like it either, bro. That's why, you know, a lot of people going to be pissed off at the rookie for giving up that. He just got beat like beat. Darlin, what's up, Darlin? Good to see you in the chat, bro. Big ups to you as well. Much love to you and you and the entire crew. Purple Knight, what's up, Purple Knight? Big ups, fam. He said, if you watch Drew Brees post-game interview, you can tell something is wrong. Yeah, bro. You know what? His energy was gone, bro. You're right. You're right, Purple Knight. You know, it could be something, bro, but I know for certain he ain't good to go next game. He checked himself out. You know how Drew Brees, he said, I ain't good to go here, man. I ain't good to go. And you can see he was uncomfortable and Man, this could be something, bro. It might be a few games, fam. Go black and gold. Who that to you? Gabriel Thomas. Who that to you? Good to see you in the chat. And all the rest of the family members, thank y'all for joining us in this, man. You know, we got a lot of family members to thank for being in the show, and all the family members as well. Whistling says, how did the game look today? Didn't get to watch. It was a knock'em sock'em game. It's a grinded out affair. And when Drew went down, because Drew got hurt, it was just, we just grinded it out thanks to Kamara with a few big plays. But boy, did this game come at a cost. It shouldn't have came at such a cost. You know, it shouldn't have. Dewan, who that to you, bro? Good to see you. Ray Anderson, much love. He says Jameis was thrown in there like Teddy was last year. Yeah, give him some reps. He'll get better. I agree with you there, bro. Appreciate you, Ray. All right, Otis Jackson, who that to you, bro? Chiming in from Aledo, Texas. Much love to you. Brother Jerome is in the building. Who that to you, Jerome? Big ups to you as well. And brother JT and all the family members are in for this one. So much love to all y'all. Thank y'all first and foremost for spending time here and being here, man. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, man. But I thank y'all for being here. All right, family, we're going to get into it and get into it. I'm going to give my analysis. We're going to break it down. I'm going to share my screen with the family members. But first, before we get going, of course, I don't want to spend too much time on the interviews, because what I'm going to play several interviews tomorrow on the Monday show. So I invite everybody that's on the chat right now to be on our Monday show as well. And we'll go over a 3-hour show where we play some interviews. We'll go over the statistics again, some analyzation. And then after the second break, we'll go 2 hours of full, open up the chat and phone line, whatever, and have the family members to chime in on what their thoughts were. But I'm gonna give the statistics and so on and so forth. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna play a little of the Drew Brees thing, because that a lot of people won't know about that. I'm gonna play a little bit of his interview. I'm gonna go over the statistics, and then I'm gonna open up the chat for family members to chime in. So if you're gonna get in there, remember you're gonna have a lot of people behind. You can't kind of hog it up. Just kind of talk your game, express yourself, and then be kind enough to let somebody go behind you. So give me a second. We're gonna share the stream. Big ups to you, PJ. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Who that to you? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups, bro. Trey says, do you think the Saints deserve #1 team in the NFC? I do think they do, bro. I do. I think they do. Although we should have beat the Green Bay Packers outright. We had that game. If we would have stuck to the run and been more balanced, we would have beat the Green Bay Packers. But our coach has an ability of being really stubborn at times and trying to force stuff to work as opposed to adjust and do something else. Like the screen games to get day. That wasn't going nowhere. The Niners knew about that, and Warner and the other guy was moving around to get to where you need to get with those screens. So let's stop that. Let's start hitting it and put the and let's, what's wrong with the 2 tight end set with the fullback? Put them dudes in there and maul the piss out the 49ers. And that's my thing. Of course, I like running the ball, because I didn't want the 49ers. See what they tried to do? How they try to control the clock, and why it screwed up is because they weren't disciplined enough to hold on to the ball. They was giving the ball up on special teams, making dumbass mistakes, and that's why the game plan fell apart. You can't try to dominate the clock and then you turning the ball over on special teams and making mistakes. And see, that's due to the fact that a lot of those guys ain't used to playing. They have a lot of young guys in there, but you've seen what they was trying to do. You seen what they were trying to grind out and steal possessions from Drew Brees and offense. That's what I want us to do. That is the game plan that we should do to them. And the only way you'll do that is if you stop playing around, put the goddamn fullback in there with the tight ends, and maul this team up the goddamn ground. You ain't got no choice now. Drew looking like he's not going to be here next week. I'm saying bruised ribs. It could be a lot more, but he deserves to have at least 1 game off, because he was up there with the sore shoulder. We'll see, man. We'll see. But like I said, the running game is what you need. We got to run that goddamn ball, power that ball down their goddamn throats is what I'm saying, man. But big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for joining us in the matchup. Yeah, and the referees was in there. They wasn't as bad. I can't really blame them too bad on this one. But I'm going to share my screen with the family members, and then we're going to get on up in here and get it going. Just give me just a second. All right. So, all right, here we go. We're going to share it. But, we're going to start it off, man. And of course, I want to play Drew. And play Drew for the family members that didn't hear Drew Brees. We're going to play Drew after it starts on the very somber Drew. And I'm pretty sure Drew thinks it feels something really wrong, man. It could be, it's something going on, bro. And it's probably going to be a game or 2 or 3, and hey, You know, for those who want to see what Jameis and Taysom could do, you might just get your chance to. So, you know, that old adage about being careful what you ask for? Remember that shit? Anyway, we're going to play this Drew Brees, and then we're going to get into the statistics. Here we go.
To your injury and why you pulled yourself from the game.
I'll put one in the chat if y'all can hear this, please.
Effective. I had pain. It was simply just what my body was going to be able to do or not be able to do.
Next one's from Amy Just.
When did you, I guess, realize that?
Y'all let me know if y'all can chat if y'all can hear, fam.
Like
okay.
right after you got
Thank
hurt,
y'all.
or you know, when you were taking some time away.
Yeah, you always worry about halftime because you sit for so long, you know, and so when I came out in the second half and started throwing the ball, it became really apparent that I wasn't going to be effective.
Next one's from Rod Walker.
Hey, Drew, what was that last, I guess, 8 minutes and 42 seconds of that first half like for you then? I mean, you battled through it. How tough was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the game, you know. But just, you know, trying to take advantage of the opportunities that we had. Just doing whatever we could to try to get the lead before halftime. Obviously, we didn't play very well offensively in that first half. You know, the first quarter, I think we had 3 plays. You know, we had a 3 and out, and then we had another 3 and out in the early second quarter, and so it didn't start well for us. But and our defense stepped up and played fantastic from the second quarter on. We got some big plays, special teams. We got a big kick return. Got a couple plays on punt team that were huge in this game as well. And so, you know, all around, we just found another way to win as a team. You know, it wasn't pretty, but we found a way.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Drew, do you expect this injury to be something that affects you this week? Is it short-term, long-term? Can you tell?
I'm just taking it one day at a time. I've done that this entire season.
That don't sound good.
And I'll continue to do that. I'm not sure what tomorrow holds, but you can know I'm going to do everything I can to be as effective as I possibly can come next week.
Next one's from Larry Holder.
Drew hadn't been able to work with Jameis throughout the season. How much do you feel like he was prepared for be able to come in and play kind of on the fly?
Yeah. Listen, I thought he played great. Listen, that's a tough job, you know, especially when as elaborate as our game planning is, you know, offense especially, to come in and be able to execute that offense is very, very difficult. Especially if you're just, you know, kind of coming in midstream. And had a big chance to really get, you know, get all the reps and that kind of thing. And I thought he did great. I thought he had great command of the huddle, and everything, you know, kind of went off without a hitch. Obviously, you know, nothing's perfect, but I thought he made some great throws. I thought he made some really good decisions, and obviously took advantage of the opportunities that he was given out there.
Next one's from Doug Mouton.
Sean said that your injury didn't get better at halftime. Was it something that was stiffening up? Is that kind of what it was? And you maybe cramping up some kind of?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Listen, I can't really describe it other than it was preventing me from doing my job.
Next one's from Catherine Terrell.
Hey, Drew, you said it wasn't about pain, but are you in serious pain right now?
I wouldn't call it that, but it's just definitely something that needs to be dealt with here.
And
that's not good.
Official designation was that it was a rib. I just wanted to clarify that was correct. That was what you're dealing with.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean it's a cumulative thing, probably not just one.
All right, well we're gonna get up out of that. Not more, it's a cumulative thing, not just one. Not a good thing if you're looking at it if you Drew Brees. And like I said, this might be a couple of games if we're lucky. You know, this could be this if we're lucky. And then the question, of course, is can you win a Super Bowl without Drew Brees, with Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill in a gimmicky offense? Like you have Jameis in there, then you cycle out Jameis for Taysom. Oh my goodness, I I see we getting into the playoffs, but I just listen, man. When you have a gimmick quarterback, and I really don't like using that term for Taysom because he's such a talented person. I would say utility man. That's the proper and more respectable term. But this college style offense, Jameis doesn't know enough of the Saints offense. You would have to let him soak up a lot of that playbook because he's going to be the quarterback as Drew gets through whatever this is. Drew feels and said it was more than one rib, and he gave indications that it was stiff and it's pain. And the fact that he's walking around like that means that I'm not thinking that he has broken ribs. I'm saying bruised ribs. That's what I'm saying. That big son of a bitch landed on him and hit him pretty hard. I'm saying bruised ribs. He came down pretty hard. So with that being said, I don't anticipate Drew Brees, for the next couple of games, to be honest with you. And then, of course, a lot of family members are going to say, well, Q, how do we get past that? Well, go back in your Saints mental matrix for a second. Remember what happened when we had the likes of Teddy Bridgewater there. The Saints utilized the running attack of Latavius Murray, who, by the way, looked pretty good in this game when they finally got him going. So, I mean, we're going to have to rely on the running attack. And, of course, when you have a quarterback in there that's not familiar, he needs a tight end. And then it's a whole nother process. Just when you get Drew on page with all of his weapons and trusting everybody, now you didn't have to go through the whole process all over again with another quarterback. We don't know who Jameis Winston favors because he tried to target Mike Thomas. He overthrew him a couple of times. Of course, he'll settle down the next attack, and I think he'll get a lot more accurate in the game. But, man, you're going to have to rely on the rushing attack to beat these teams. And, of course, that's what they're going to do. They're going to, Atlanta's going to, and the rest of these guys, until Drew gets back, are going to play the Saints on a run and force Jameis Winston to beat them. That's just what I would do if I was the defensive coordinator going up against you. But, I mean, the reality is, this is, and I said it going out, like, man, I hope, man, I really do. I hope we're going to beat the team, but let's just get out of there with no bumps and bruises. And, of course, we got quite a few of them, don't we, family? Let's look at it, man. Let's get into it on this one. Saints get the win 27-13. They improve to 7-2 in the NFL. I absolutely love it. I think it's a terrific win by the Saints. But, boy, did we lose a lot in the game. Well, temporarily anyway, you know what I'm saying? All right, Drew Brees, 8 of 13 in the matchup in the game right here. As you can see, 8 of 13, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. He was off to a good start ultimately before he got down. Jameis came in. He was 6 of 10 and just 63 yards. Now, that ain't bad stat line, 6 of 10 for 63 yards. And, of course, they were mixing Taysom Hill in there. No pass attempts by Taysom Hill today, although he did go back to throw the ball, held the ball for far too long and took a sack. That can't happen. You can't do that. But, these guys got to get used to playing the quarterback position. And that's what happened when you have a quarterback by utility approach. The guy is in all these different rooms. He's not soaking up everything from the QB room, so he has a limited understanding of what the plays are for the Saints quarterback. And that's different from a Jameis Winston who that's all he does is sit in the QB room. So people have to remember that. 6 of 10 for Jameis Winston for 63 yards, no turnovers, no touchdowns. Rushing attack for the Saints, and I'm going statistics, the individual statistics first. I usually go team, but today I'll do it, the individual. 9 carries for Latavius Murray for 57 yards. He averaged over 6 yards a rush for the Saints today. Latavius Murray. 6.3 to be precise. So remember, we're going to have to do that. Taysom Hill had 8 attempts for 45 yards, 5.6 there as well. And 8, as far as Kamara, 8 rushes for 15 yards. Not much shaking with Kamara, even though he had 2 touchdowns rushing a ball. And, of course, Drew was there. Jameis had 4 rushes or carries for -2. Alvin Kamara was the top man today once again in the receiving game. Where will we go? What will we do without Alvin Kamara? Seriously. 7 catches, 83 yards and touchdown. 3 touchdowns Alvin Kamara was responsible for, 2 rushing and 1 catching. Mike Thomas was thrown at 7 times today, only 2 catches for 27 yards. And if he was Reed Richards or Mr. Fantastic from the Marvel comics, he would have caught 2 of them balls that Jameis was throwing. Now, Deontay Harris, 4 catches off of 4 targets for 24 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, one target for one catch for 5 yards. Jared Cook was thrown at twice, no catches. Drew just missed him badly going down. Traquan Smith was targeted once. Dirty pool with the 49ers. That guy should have been thrown out of there. That goddamn guy should have had his stinking ass flagged and ejected from the game. Dirty ass play on that guy for hitting him in the helmet with his arm. That guy should have been ejected, and he should be fined heavily for what he did. That was a dirty play by that rotten ass defensive back for the 49ers. But that's how dirty, rotten, stinking dogs do when they losing. Dirty bastards like that tend to do stuff like that. Pardon my French. But I'm upset when you do stuff and you do not protect the players. That was a defenseless wide receiver. But we all know if the Saints would have did that, you would have got hit with a flag. But where was the protection of the referees for Traquan Smith, who's now dealing with a concussion? Because the goddamn guy hit him in the helmet with his forearm. You know? And then the gutless commentators didn't say nothing about it, and they seen it happen. So, I mean, it's just amazing, man. It's amazing to me. But anyway, in the game, you see the fumbles. Taysom had 2 fumbles. He lost one of them. Deontay Harris had 2 fumbles, lost one of them. Brees had one as well, a fumble, you know, and then Marquez Callaway recovered 2. So a lot of, you know, moving and shaking in that regard, but it was cool. Malcolm Jenkins had an interception today. This showed that Patrick Robinson, the 2 pass defenses. Robinson stepped in there and played pretty decently in limited action. Demario Davis and Onyemata, Marcus Williams, and all those guys, and Trey Anderson had pass deflections. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was a beast today. 8 tackles total for him, 1 sack, 3 tackles for losses. He was blitzing off the end. They had no answer for that. They just simply didn't adjust. They ignored him. Then you look at what, actually Demario Davis was there with his 8. And then, of course, you see what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did there with his 8 tackles as well in the game. David Onyemata, 4. As well with tackles for a loss. Demario had a sack in the game as well. So, I mean, the Saints defense were crawling all over them. They were knocking them around. I just didn't like the fact that the guy actually had a pretty decent, besides being picked off twice. We should have sacked him, but there was a lot of holding going on. And I just don't like the fact that the Saints as a team, we didn't get a lot more sacks because we were coming. Chauncey was blitzing off the side. The guy was still throwing the ball, and you know, we just got to do better to get to the quarterback and get them on the ground. So, I mean, defense did enough to hold 49ers to 13 points on the day. Will Lutz 2 of 2 from for the field goals. Tommy Morstead kicked 5 punts for 41 yards in the matchup. Deontay Harris had 3 returns, averaged about 41 yards on the returns. Had a 75-yard one when he gave it up. And on the punt side of things, not too much shaking on that side of things. Look at the Saints on their team statistics here. As versus the Niners, had 232. Hold on, that's the total yards. Saints 237 versus the 49ers 281. Passing yards 232 versus the Saints 123. Due to a lot of result that Drew was going. Saints outrushed them 114 to 49. Yards per play 4.3 versus 4.2 advantage Niners. Points scored 27-13. Saints helped out there. Fumbles 2 of 2 apiece. Interceptions 2. Covered up by the Saints that they got. Sacks is 3 sacks for the Saints in the matchup, 2 for the 49ers. They started to cut loose. We can't let that happen. Third down efficiency, the 49ers were 43% on third down. The Saints were 16%. We got to clean that up. And a lot of that's because we had instability in the offense with Drew kind of getting out of the game. Almost similar, different in reverse than what happened when we lost Drew last year when Aaron Donald slapped him on his hand and he disappeared for 5 games. Almost a similar pattern in terms of, you know, instead we got the win this time because we were able to lean on the running attack, and the 49ers hurt themselves with turnovers. Penalties in the game, 9-6, Saints 5. Time of possession, they started off well, 32-54. Saints caught up to them 27-06 with about 5-minute difference. But, you know, they couldn't sustain that because of the turnovers. You look at what the 49ers did, and I won't talk a lot about it, but Mullins was 24-38, 247 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions in the matchup, and nothing else shaking for him. Brandon, now you got busy. 7 catches, 75 yards, 1 touchdown, but they was force feeding him. 14 targets to Ayuk. He came down with half of them. Jordan Reed had 5 catches off of 6 targets for 62 yards. Had a very, very, really nice third down catch that didn't go anywhere. I mean, he reached down there and caught that ball with his left hand. That was a pretty good catch by Jordan Reed. Kendrick Bourne, 4 catches off of 5 targets, 26 yards in the matchup. Richie James really helped the Saints with the fumbling and stumbling that he did. And, of course, Ken Webster as well. So, if it wasn't for these young players making critical mistakes and the Saints capitalizing, we were able to get this game underhand 27-13 and finish the deal. And, of course, like we saying about Drew Brees and what happened with him, and he's set to get an MRI, and this is the article here from CBS that was covering it. And it's just the season. The Saints should consider benching Drew or for Jameis on Sunday. San Francisco 49ers, the Saints did just that, but only because Drew injured his ribs. Week 10 under center and threw a touchdown to help New Orleans take a 17-10, but it was Winston who started the second half for the 41-year-old Brees who's undergo his x-rays and an MRI this upcoming week. Despite a relatively mild start to 2020, I ain't gonna say mild start. Drew Brees was having a phenomenal year. He has posted in top 10 numbers all over the place, but questionable return in Sunday's matchup. And of course, what can I tell you, man? He got to get an MRI so we can get to find out exactly what's going on. And Jameis Winston will be the guy there taking over. So we'll keep on going through it, man, and cycling through this thing, man. But my goodness, man, my goodness, that we leave this game, losing Drew Brees the way we did. I mean, it just doesn't sit well with me, man. Losing Drew the way we did. And if you're an offensive lineman, do your goddamn job. Don't let the guy beat your ass like that, and then you end up taking a sack. The guy blasting Drew, taking Drew out of there, busting him up, and now we got to sit up there and deal with the fact that Drew Brees is going to be missing because we had a rookie-ass offensive lineman who should just grab the guy by the scruff of his goddamn neck like they do us. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, how often did you see this, that you guys seen offensive linemen literally grab Saints defensive linemen and hold on to them? So I don't know, man. All I can say is, man, you got to grab. And the coaches to tell you that is that you got to grab to hold on. So, I mean, we got through this thing, but boy, did it come at a cost, man. Boy, did it come at a cost. So let's go over some of them. At least 8 players from the Saints are dealing with injuries. Let's go over this. And this is what I was going to show the family members here, is that 8 players. And I got it there. Drew, of course, we know about Drew going in his MRI. Traquan Smith with that dirty play with the concussion. Tight end Josh Hill also had a concussion in the matchup. Marshawn Lattimore, oblique, he dealing with that. Defensive tackle Malcolm Brown, that calf flaring up. He had that before. Safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson doesn't know exactly what happened there. Looked like an arm issue, I want to say. Andrews Pete has an unknown issue. And, of course, Teron Armstead. Boy, did we come out of this goddamn game missing out on some people, man. And hopefully we can shake back. A lot of these injuries, just to let the family members know, a lot of these injuries will have more on it going into the week. So, we're going to just stop that there. But it's just really, it's something. We got to see. We got to see. We got the win, but it came at a price. So, like I said, I like the win, but reality sets in. We've been fortunate for a minute, so we didn't have to really deal with the injuries and everything. But now our quarterback is going to miss a few games, and I'm thinking Okay, you're saying it's a stinger. Okay, thank you, Hemisphere. Appreciate you, bro. All right. Well, that's one of the I know, Tyra. Yeah. And tragic WW, what will Walford do? I would grab, listen, bro, if you're gonna get it, take the 10-yard penalty or whatever it is that they're gonna get, but let Drew live for another day. Grab the son of a bit, I'm about to say something. Grab the guy, stop him. Don't let him just pancake the hell out the quarterback. I mean, don't they understand if Drew goes down, likelihood of the Super Bowl is in jeopardy. Now he's going, I don't think this is going to be something that'll sideline Drew Brees for the rest of the season, but at least maybe 2 or 3 games he might be without Drew. The plus side of that is we play some teams that's not really that good. After the 49ers affair, We have 2 matchups with the Falcons and then one against the Broncos. So each one of them games you're gonna need to not turn the ball over, and you're gonna need your defense to help out more. So you're gonna need the special teams to help out, and then you're gonna also need to give the quarterback, Jameis Winston. You have to give him somebody to throw to, Mike Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. The good part about it is all the weapons are there. You just got to get Jameis on line with those guys. That's all, you know what I'm saying? And I say that's like it ain't nothing to say, because, but, with him practicing, I'm telling you, it should be a lot better moving ahead. So anyway, we're gonna put a link in the chat for the family members to feel free to chime in. 40 minutes have passed since the show is. We're gonna be on air for at least another hour or so. So I'm trying to fit as many people as I possibly can, about at least another hour and I say about hour and 20 minutes. So please feel free, if you want to chime in, hit the link. You can get on the show there. Brandon, who that to you? Brandon Coleman there. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Big ups to you. Thank you for joining us for today's show. Please hit the like button, family. If you hadn't hit the like button today, KK Cole, who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat, family. Much love to you, KK Cole. Yeah, I know. We we got wheelchairs there. You might have to put a few more up there, man. Thank you for that. A little levity there. But anyway, we're gonna open up the chat to the family members, man, for y'all to chime in. Remember, we're gonna get you in there. Ferg 318, big ups to you. Marcos, good to see you, fam. Big ups to you, much love to you. I see you, fam. Big ups to you. And all the family members chiming in. Hit the link, line up one app, and we're gonna get you in there, fam. Hit the like button. We're gonna start off. We got Brother Jerry, the True Hurts, and then we got Brother Paul, and then Trey. We're gonna follow it down there, and all the family. Big Easy, K Scott, I see you, fam. So all the family members, just be a little patient. We're gonna get you in there. Please be, express yourself, and then we're gonna get another family member in. So we're gonna start it off. Brother Jerry, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, Big Q? Who that to you?
Who that to you, my brother? How you feel about tonight, my friend?
Well, I feel all right, man. I had to get some stuff off my chest about these low down, good for nothing, dirty 40 whiners taking down some of our players, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I'm happy we got the win and everything, but come on. These 49ers, Lord knows how dirty they are. Lord have mercy.
Yes, sir.
Put Trey McQuarrie Smith out of the lineup. Put Brees on the side. I said to myself, man, they should have some arrest warrants for these guys, man. Cause Lord Jesus, they try to take. And we can't look. And Big Q, we came in healthy, ready to go, and now we got about 5 or 6 injuries on the list because of them.
Yeah, it was something else, bro.
Them low down, dirty scums.
Yeah, that was terrible, bro.
I'm glad
terrible.
we got payback on them 49ers, because good thing they didn't have Jimmy G in the lineup. Good thing they didn't have George Kittle in there. I'm happy we beat that butt.
Right. Yeah, we dropped them. We dropped them.
Put up that ass. I'm happy.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm happy too as well. But boy, did it come at a price, though.
Yes, sir. But I have a few things I want to say, because I know we got other callers on there. So I'm gonna make this short and sweet. First off, that defense and the special teams really stepped up to the plate this afternoon. Especially with the defense with the interceptions and with the muff pump, the muff punts by the 49ers, and Marquez Callaway came out of nowhere twice and saved us. So so the game ball goes to those two. And another thing, Taysom Hill got to stop fumbling the ball, bruh. Cause I got news for you, Big Q. That fumble almost lost us the game.
Yeah, Taysom, man, you gotta clean that up, bro.
Yeah, we got, like I said before, we got to do plays that work and that will always work, because some of these plays that Sean Payton be calling ain't gonna cut it, bruh. Because everybody knows they love them screens so much, man. Because that opposing defense, they will come and attack you on those screens. They're good at that. That's why you got to work on some better plays to outsmart them. You know what I'm saying? Like the flea flick or something, you know, a deep route or something like that. Someday they are familiar with that'll tie that opposing defense. Because I got news for you, Big Q. We got them Falcons coming in next Sunday. And
Yes, sir.
And they're on a bye week, and you never know what these guys are going to do coming into the Superdome next Sunday. That's why we had to clean up what we messed up so we can bring our A game, because I know they're going to bring theirs as well.
Absolutely. You're 100% right, Brother Jay. As usual. We got to stay focused, man. We losing quite a people. This is a deep team. And it kind of put me in sight of what happened last year as well. And we just got to carry that over. Go ahead, Brother Jay.
Exactly. And also, before I get to my next segment, I want to give a shout out to
all right, Brother Jay, we lose
every one of y'all. Just give a big shout out to everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. But Q, I gotta give it to you. I gotta give you this, man. What you think about that Zach Bond hit?
Love it.
The kickoff, man.
I love it. He blew that guy up. I was hoping that he knock the ball loose, but I love the hit though.
Yeah, I loved it too. When I looked at it, he came out in full force. He said, "Boom!" I like, ooh, man. Q, I had to pass for like 5 or 10 minutes. I just had a look on my face like, damn, man.
Right.
That was nasty.
Yeah, that was a hard one there, bro. I like that one, bro. I like that hit, bro.
But yes, sir. And look, like I said, and we ain't gonna worry about this this thing that they were talking about after we beat Tampa Bay last week. They were doing dancing and everything without the mask. I said we ain't gonna worry about that. You know how the NFL is. They just love to mess with us so much because you know it's like Robin Hood. They get like the rich and the poor. They give you all that money. Next thing you know, when you do something wrong, they take it away from you. And that's what I hate. That's what I hate about that part, man. They hate our guts so much. And I'm gonna tell you like this, and I want everybody in the chat to hear me when I say this. While these haters still hating, guess what? The New Orleans Saints gonna keep winning because we're untouchable when we win. And I don't give a damn what nobody say. We run this.
Yep, I agree with you there, brother Jerry. I mean, we definitely run this. We sitting up here 7-2. I agree wholeheartedly with you, bro, and the family do too. But I appreciate you for chiming in, my brother, as usual. Much love to you, and thank you for your great commentary and sentiment as well, bro.
You too, Big Q. You have a good night, and good night, everybody. And we'll talk later this week.
Thank you, bro. I'll talk to you next time on our Monday broadcast. Peace. That's Brother Jerry chiming in, man. Big ups to Brother Jerry. Thank you, Brother Jerry. Great talk. Gonna bring in the Truth Hurts. How you doing, friend?
Hey, what's up, Big Q? How you doing?
Doing good, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. What's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I'm just upset. I mean, man, these 40 whiners are freaking dirty, bro. I mean, going back to a few years back, that NFC divisional round. Remember that hit that I think it was Dante Whitner put on Pierre Thomas?
Yeah.
That helmet to helmet. I was actually at work watching that game on break, and I'm like, I can't believe this guy didn't get kicked out the game. I mean, because that was clearly a dirty play. Last year in the Superdome, they know it was about to be a hell of a game for them to cover Jared Cook. And that guy, Weatherspoon, that was a dirty play. Today, what happened to our quarterback, I don't care what no one says, that was a dirty play. You got this big bastard, excuse my language, but I'm like just mad right now. You got this big guy, clearly drove our quarterback to the turf. I mean, it just seemed dirty to me. We know the hit on Traquan was dirty. We know that, but took him out, and then they did this to Brees, and it's like we don't know how long this guy gonna be. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, but I don't think we can win a Super Bowl without our quarterback. I mean, it's no question we're a playoff team. I know that. And I even still think we can win this division if our defense just continue to play like it's been playing and not let teams extend drives on us and try to keep away from our offense. But I still like where we at. Like I say, I thank God we won the game today. We didn't lose. But like the homeboy just got off the phone, what you said, Taysom Hill, he got to stop fumbling the football, bro, because he could have cost us the game today. I mean, I was just watching it back and forth on Red Zone because, I'm down here in North Las Vegas, Nevada, and they had on, they had a Raiders on, and they had on Seattle and the Rams. And it's like when I was looking at it on my phone, I'm like, come on, Taysom. I mean, because I think we were up by like 14 points, like 27-13. And it was still kind of time left. So if San Francisco would have drove up the field and scored, then I would have only put them down by 7. But, we just, like you said, we just got to be smart. We just got to play smart football. Let's say because I got a feeling we might not have Drew next week for Atlanta. But even if we don't, if our defense shows up and the offense, because I think we'll see a better Jameis Winston next week. Let's say if our boy Drew is not able to go, I think Jameis should be better next week, and you throw some packages for Taysom Hill to come in, like he do regularly, like if Drew is there. Right. But he just can't turn that football over because we kind of have some plays today that could have cost us the game. So I'm just worried about that. But like I said, I like our chances going down the stretch.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, bro. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with you. Going down the stretch, we don't know for certain how many games he's gonna miss, but I mean, to me, it looks like he has bruised ribs. To me, he hinted on the fact that it might be more than one. Drew knows how he feels. He feels uncomfortable that he can't go out. He couldn't go out there and make the proper throws. And this could be a blessing in disguise because he can get maybe a 2 or 3 game break, and then we'll get a healthy Drew Brees ready for the rest of the season, and then we can also get Jameis Winston a peek at Jameis and Taysom and see what these guys look like. But I also realize that that we'll get what we want, the running attack. With a quarterback in there, you're gonna run the ball. Remember last year what happened with Jameis Winston. So it's another thing with Q. You want them to run the ball a lot. Be careful what you ask for, and you just got it. They're gonna run that ball. But this could be a blessing in disguise. I don't anticipate Drew missing the rest of the season. I see one of the family members put out there. I just looked while you was talking. That I spanned over various resources that I go to for Saints information. A good 12 or 15 of them or so. And there's no information validating that story, just to let you know officially from certain sources that I go to. So, but I don't anticipate Drew being out for the entire season, at least 2 or 3 games. And I think that'll prove beneficial for the Saints in terms of him going in along the duration. Let Jameis Winston build a camaraderie. The great part about it is, listen, for all the fans, we know we're going to be without Drew, maybe 2 or 3 games, but listen, we still have Mike Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders there, Jared Cook, and all of the weapons are there and healthy. So we got to see we got to look what Terrell Arn is going through, what Andrews has been banged up inside and out. And we also have, see what's going on with Laddie Daddy and the rest of them. But, outside of that, going forward, we should be all right.
Yeah, I believe so too. Because you remember last year when Brees went down out there in Los Angeles against the Los Angeles Rams, and they threw Teddy Bridgewater in there, and he didn't look good. But what happened after that. Like, you know, he didn't have any, well, he had one turnover against the Cowboys when Ted Ginn Jr., he had the ball and it got intercepted. Remember, I don't know if you remember on that Sunday night last year week, I think it was week 4 or something like that. But yeah, I think all we got to do is just stay competitive, and, the defense just got to show up. And if we do that, and like you said, on offense, run that ball, that's the main thing, we have to run that ball. We can't get impatient with the run. I mean, I think if we do that, I think we should be okay going forward. But I know you have to go to the other callers, and I just want to say, yeah, like you and TJ is like my best Saint podcast. I mean, I love listening to you guys, me and my family. So keep up the good work, brothers.
Well, I appreciate you, the True Hurts, and everybody know how I feel about my little brother TJ. Much love to him, man. It's a good dude, man, and I'm glad, and I appreciate the compliment for both those for them, because listen, bro, let me tell you something. We're gonna be fine at the end of the day, bro, and everybody just need to know that. Remember, just think back until what happened with Teddy Bridgewater last year. And I'm not saying we're going to go undefeated, but listen, it makes us a more balanced team. We get everybody involved, and then Drew comes back with that 2 or 3 game rest, hopefully, and we'll be fine keeping it going. But True Hurt, thank you for joining us, bro. Who that to you? Thank you for your compliments, bro. And talk to you later on future podcasts.
All right. You're welcome, brother. Who that?
Who that? Thank you, bro. All right, appreciate you. We got Uncle Paulie, we got K. Scott, Donald, and Trey. All right, family, we got you chimed in right there. We're going to get you in here next. I just want to give a shout out to the rest of the Great Saint Think Tank family members and the live stream. Thank y'all for joining us, Jason, and the rest of the family members. Diane, good to see you in the chat as well. CNS, good to see you. Says, who that? He says, who that nation? I'm a Packers fan too, but I love your stuff. Thank you, CNS. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. And that's what we get, bro. We get a lot of love from a lot of the family members that that might be lovers of other shows, and that's just that, and I appreciate that. That's a great compliment, because there's a lot of other people doing stuff on their shows, and they're willing to watch shows. I just take it as a great compliment, and I thank you guys for spending time here. All right, let's go down. We got Uncle Paulie, followed by K. Scott, Donald, and Trey. Here we go. Uncle Paul is in the building. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, Big Q?
I'm doing good, brother Paul. All right, what's going on with you, my friend? How you feel about the Saints win over the 49ers?
It's a win, but Q, I'm not turning cartwheels. I'm not jumping up and down. It's just not that type of win to me, man. I mean, Drew getting hurt, man. It's just, I'm like, come on. I mean, Ruiz, we'll clap. Somebody, it's just like Q. It's like somebody with more experience really need to be in that spot right now. I mean, come on, man. And then Q, not to show no emotion. I mean, back in the day, if you'd have hit Troy Aikman or Steve Young, one of them linemen would have come over there, and I mean, they'd have raised all kind of cane. It'd been a fight breaking loose right there. That even show like you mad about it, trying to protect your quarterback, man. I don't like that, Q. What you think?
Well, I mean, I could see a Kyle Turley moment breaking out there. For what they did to Drew, and the guy slams Drew to the ground, and and we could point the finger at Ruiz, because Ruiz was the guy that allowed the man to go. He got beat like a drum, and he blew up Drew, and ultimately, that's a part of it, man. But I mean, he's a rookie, bro. And I can't come down hard on the rookie, because that's what the rookie's going to give you. They're going to get beat. I mean, last year, Andrews Pete got beat for Aaron Donald to smack Drew on his hand, and now, but to get blown up like that, man, you can't let your quarterback get that is absolutely unforgivable. You cannot let them guys blow up you. I mean, if it was wrestling, he might as well suplex Drew Brees' goddamn ass. He might as well came off the top rope with Drew Brees and a power drive or a screwdriver or something. For all that, he could have did one of them still Stone Cold Steve Austin moves out there. For all that's concerned, I mean, but goodness gracious, you cannot allow him to get hit like that, man.
I still fault Peyton, because you know what, Q should have been running the ball at that time, so he got to shoulder some blame too. Still, to me, Q still didn't run the ball enough. I'm sorry. I'm like you, man. Hey, now with Drew being out, Q, I think it should be they'll at least run the ball at least 60% now. You got to kick it up now, baby.
You're right, brother Paul. Well, he has no choice. I mean, you got a quarterback. Jameis is going to be in there. Jameis doesn't know the offense like that, so it's going to be one of them situations where you're going to have to run the ball. It's the same scenario what happened with Teddy Bridgewater last year. You're going to have to give him the running game.
First down, 2 rushes, first down.
Two rushes.
Sean Payton go get the message, Q. I mean, come on.
He just and that's the thing that's really, people say Q get on Sean Payton because of that, because it's the fact that it's one thing to look at the game just like you just a casual observer. But I don't look at the game like that. It's just how I'm made. I don't view the game that way. I look at the game like a coach look at the game. I look at misplays. I look at stuff that we can improve upon. And that's how they've studied the game. When I look at the tape, I said, man, if he'd have caught that, if he'd have blew that guy up, and I call it cleaning it up, things we got to clean up because you always want to know what you're doing wrong on the film so you can clean it up and get better every week. You point like you need to be there or there, you need to clean that up and do whatever you got to do. But running the ball is important, though. It is important to run the football. They're going to need to run it to help Jameis Winston.
You're going to have to, Q, because the way he looked tonight, man, except for that throw to Kamara, I'm like, And then Q still using Kamara and Taysom Hill too much. They just won't listen. You've been saying it all year. Still losing them too much.
Brother Paul, we went to the Packers. Taysom in the matchup, he had 8 rushes in the game. A lot of those rushes are rushes that's Latavius Murray rushes, you see. If you split those in half and give four of them a piece, that's 4 goals to Latavius. That would have been 14 rushes for Latavius Murray on the night. Exactly. 13 rushes for him, and you'd have gave 4 to Alvin Kamara. But if you're going to use Taysom Hill, you got to let him throw the ball. You can't make him just running back all the time. You can't do that.
Because with this, I've noticed with Taysom Hill, he got this trend running right now. When he go out there and try to do too much, he fumble every time. Every time Taysom Hill, he did that and cost us the Raider game. Come up in there and fumble. He got to stop doing that. He needs to start running that ball with 2 hands like Larry Zonka and them used to do. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, got a better ball. And Taysom is not a guy, he's strong with it. He knows how to cover it up. And he doesn't have a reputation as being a fumbling, stumbling ass player, And I just think that, Taysom's 6'1", he's 240 pounds. He's a heavy, he's a tough guy. But listen, Taysom, you a tough guy, dude, but you're a quarterback, dude. I mean,
there you go.
You gotta think in the mind of a quarterback, not running back. So, like when he was in there looking to throw the ball, he held on to the ball. That would have been the time when you take off, when you seen the pocket collapse, then take off, Taysom.
Exactly. That's
throw the ball away.
Right. And did that with that 3rd and 2. Get what? But he got stopped. I mean, 4 yards behind the line? Come on, Q. Now, Sean Payton ought to quit doing that. He'd be really ridiculous with that. Man.
We got to fix that. But that's the thing. We got to let him throw it like they did again. You cannot, and he reared back for that one time to throw it. But that's what I'm saying about having a limited understanding of a quarterback position, because Taysom is divided in different rooms. And that's what I was saying. Now, the question moving forward is, I know Taysom's going to get it right. That's just who he is. Taysom Hill is going to get it right. But the question I have moving forward is, how is the Saints offense is going to look with you trying to mesh Taysom Hill and Teddy Bridgewater? I mean, I said Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis Winston in there. And I'm hoping we have a Teddy Bridgewater type a situation like we had last year. Boy, we can only hope to have something like that. But once again, the question is how long he's going to be out.
I doubt it, Q, because guess what? This is not high school or college football, Q. You can flip flop quarterbacks on them level. But when the pro, you Jameis Winston was getting a little rhythm going at one point in that game, right there. I think it's before the end of the 3rd quarter. Right when Jameis started getting a little hot, he come Taysom Hill. I'm like, why bring Taysom Hill in here? Q, it did let Taysom Hill run the ball, and he got stopped 2-3 yards of the first down. It was like third or fourth and short. Come on,
but and that's the thing. We got to understand that too about James. A lot of people getting on James. Listen, fam, I understand you getting mad with James. You was selling shit over people's head and everything. I get you on that. But listen, he was cold as a flounder coming up in that game, man. He was cold as a flounder. And I know you're supposed to, and as a professional, you always, Q, you know, there ain't an excuse, but you're always supposed to be ready. And you're absolutely right, you're supposed to be ready. But he came in there, he had absolutely no rhythm. He came in there, he have no, camaraderie. He was cold, and it didn't help him. But he finished the game, 6 of 10 for 63 yards, no interceptions, no nothing. But that comes with him building the camaraderie with either Mike or Emmanuel or Cook or Kamara or whomever. But the good part about it is all those guys are available for Jameis Winston, and a full running game is available for Jameis Winston as well. So we have to be able to remember let's give Jameis a chance. A lot of people wanted to see, thinking that Jameis could be the future of this team. We'll see. Now we'll get an opportunity because I'm thinking that Jameis, that they get. You gotta. I keep saying you gotta watch out for that genie. You know what I mean? I told you about that old dirty genie, the genie that I asked for $1 million and he put a bunch of deer in front of around my house. You got to watch out for that genie because you ask for something, he'll give it to you. You want a running game? Q? Yeah, I want him to run the ball. Bam, Drew Brees out for 3 games. Now what? Yeah,
you never know, Q. I'm just hoping he didn't break down one of them ribs, and I certainly hope he didn't hurt that rotator cuff, man. Woo.
Yeah, we're gonna see because he was always he had a show serve already. Yeah, we gotta watch out for that.
After it happened when they showed it on the TV screen, Drew looked scared. He looked like he was shocked, and I didn't like the way he looked. I just really did.
He knew something was wrong.
His mind wanted to go back in that queue, but his body was like, "Oh no, you not."
Yeah.
His body wouldn't let him queue.
He couldn't throw the ball.
Not 25. He 41, and then that's what you run, Q.
He couldn't throw the ball, and that's why he told Sean Payton what he did. He couldn't do his job. He told a reporter that too in the interview we just played. He felt like he could not perform his job. He couldn't do his job. What's that? Throwing of the ball. That means he can't throw the ball.
I saw that Sean Payton like he was all about to panic. Q. He didn't know what to do. Like what? Right. He said no. What? Drew was shaking his head. No, I can't go back in there, coach. I was like, oh Lord. I had Sean Payton. But you know what, Q? Did Sean Payton need this? He needed to start getting some taste of what it gonna be like when Drew not here. He needs that. He's got to coach better, Q. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's just gonna have to coach better. And the defense, we can't count on the defense keep playing like that, Q. So guess what? They're gonna have another letdown too. We don't need the offense. See, my thing is, Q, I don't want to see Winston go in there, and the passing attack really ain't really been all that hot anyway. And then Jameis is thrown in there, and then the passing attack struggle even more. We don't need that, Q, because some of these teams we're gonna have to throw against to try to win. Because what if they start shutting Alvin Kamara down? What if we have a game where we're struggling running? Then we gotta try to get the pass, and Winston struggling. That's not gonna be good for the offense, Q. What you think?
Well, I mean, running game, bro. I mean, Sean Payton is not going to stop utilizing Taysom Hill, even if it tends to disrupt what Jameis Winston is trying to do on the field. So you're going to need a running attack to do that. You're just going to need a running attack. And Jameis Winston is going to have to and Sean Payton has to get Jameis ready to go for these next several games or whatever it's going to be. That's what it comes down to. Jameis Winston was his guy he picked. He wanted Jameis here because he had faith in Jameis Winston. Well, Jameis is in terrific shape. He's learning a lot behind Drew, and this is when he gets coached up, and Jameis will get in there. But the great part about it is that they do have the Saints running attack is good, very good. They do have the full stock of offensive weapons from Mike Thomas to Emmanuel Sanders there to help him. Hopefully we'll have Teron Armstead issues not that bad as well.
Yeah, I saw that at level, like that knee buckle when he backed up, nobody touched him, and you could tell that knee buckle. I'm like, I hope he didn't pull or tear nothing. But that looked kind of scary to me too. He's some big guy, man, and you moving like that, them little thing, man. Hey, they can be serious, till you go down there and check it out. Oh, I'm all right. until you go get, you know, x-rays and stuff. And, you know, you just can never tell with certain things, you know. You may not, you know, seem that serious or may be hurting you that bad. Wait till in the morning. That's when you're really going to feel it, you know, Q.
Right. And that's what we're going to have to just wait and see, bro. But no doubt about it. Jameis Winston is going to have to clean. He got to build a camaraderie with these guys. But listen, it's going to have to be the running attack, man. It's got to be the run. It's got to, you're going to have to lean on the running attack to win these next whatever it is. And of course, you in each game, Jameis Winston should get even more exposure to the offensive playbook from Sean Payton and build the offense around Jameis like he did with Teddy Bridgewater last year to lead to success. So same scenario, almost the same scenario going on here, except that Drew's leaving the Saints with a 7-2 record. But the running attack is there. The defense is catching on. Special teams starting to look a lot better. So all phases of the team will have to help with Drew out. And Jameis is a guy. He ain't no rookie now. Jameis Winston is in the 6th year of his career. He's had extended action in college, extended action in the NFL. He's had exposure to the Saints quarterback-friendly system. He was a bit erratic today. He was overthrowing people. But at the end of the day, I think that Sean Payton's will get and Drew Brees tutelage from the sideline, and then Sean Payton I think that they'll give him a running attack. They give him the tight end, which is the wide quarterback's best friend, especially a guy that's not familiar with the system. Mike Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Traquan might be out this game, but you got Marquez Callaway, Deontay Harris. You got weapons around him, so you know we just have to be able to kind of walk him through this in here thing. But go ahead, brother. I'm gonna give you the last word on it before I move on to Donald.
Thank you. I'm just saying, Q, stop putting Taysom Hill in there at the quarterback, and what you putting Jameis Winston out there in the slot position. You know you're not going to throw the ball to Winston. I mean, stuff like that, Q. Sean Payton know better than that. Come on, man.
Yeah, we like I said, we asked for the running game. We damn sure going to get it the next whatever.
You're right. You asked for it. Now you got it. You got to be careful what you ask for.
Right. So we're gonna see. But listen, we get the running game and we get access to the deep ball. Remember, the way they're gonna play the Saints now with Jameis Winston there, they're not gonna play Jameis for the pass. They're gonna play the Saints to stop the run. They're gonna look for Kamara. They're gonna look the Saints for running the ball, and you're gonna have an opportunity to throw the ball downfield. And Jameis has a live arm. So how does that look for you, Jameis naysayers out of there? Let's get a goddamn guy a shot, man. Let's give him a try, man. You know, let's give him a chance, man. He ain't no damn rookie.
Right, we're gonna see the deep ball. Everybody try to throw it down the yard. Okay, we're gonna
see it now. You're gonna get the running gap, and you're gonna get every damn thing you want now. Thank you, brother Paul. Appreciate you chiming in, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Who did now? Thank you now.
Thank you, bro. Peace. That's Uncle Paul that chiming in. All right, family. We got big ups to the rest of the family members tuning in the live free feed tonight. We got Donald coming up, followed by Trey. I see y'all, fam. Be patient. We're gonna get you in there. Big ups to you, KK Cole, Damone Harton. Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to the rest of the family members. Big ups. We got a link in the chat if you want to get on the show. We're gonna be broadcasting. Say probably like another hour or so. If you want to get in there and get on there, hit that link and you'll pop up here and you can be able to express yourself on the sports call in front of the Who Dat Nation. All right, brother Donald, how you doing today, bro?
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
We good? Okay. How you doing?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good. What
good. You mean great, man. I can't say good. Great.
Great. Exemplary. I'm doing I'll take it the next level up. Exemplary.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it wasn't perfect. But this is a National Football League. The competition is going to happen every Sunday. You're going to get every team's best. The 49ers, that's a sneaky good football team. At the end of the day, they just got injuries. They fought in it. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Right? And then we finally won a game against a good offensive coach in Kyle Shanahan, which is at the end of the day probably been like kryptonite for the past couple of years. So that's good to see too. But at the same time, and then we stopped the run, the running game. So it was all good, man. Again, our offense is good enough, but the game goes to the defense. That's simple what it is. You win games because of defense. That's what it was. And then it was all around team won. He said that it wasn't perfect, but at the same time, it's a win. How can you nitpick a win? That's all I want to know. How can you nitpick a win? Come on, man. This is the National Football League. Professionals, bro. They get paid. They're gonna compete. They want to win just as bad as they want to win. I mean, the competition gets the best out of everybody. It was a good win. Just got to move on to the next game. This is the Atlanta Falcons. So, looking forward to next week. We don't know what's going to happen. Who's in, who's out. All I know is I expect next week to be a win. So, it's all good. But what you think? What you think? I ain't even hear your comment. What you think happened in the game? What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Brother Donald, man, I mean, I think the Saints they grinded it out, bro. They forced the turnovers. They were able to sack and frustrate the quarterback. They did a lot of positive stuff in this matchup. I just think it was a good win. I just the cost of the win was too much. I mean, we lost. Hopefully, who knows? It might not lose. That's true. That's true. But that's a major part of the game plan is for the
part of the game, man.
That's part of the game. That's what the coaches. The emphasis on it is okay. Let's get the win and let's get out of there in one piece.
That's unfortunately,
you are right. Injuries are part of the game, Brother Donald, and we just have to deal with it, man. That's just you're right on that.
They don't stop. The game don't stop with injuries today, bro. At the end of the day, we go out there and fight. They fight. This is the man we fight. We just got to. What's the guy gonna have the last straw? Who had the last knockout? We gonna stand tall. We did. So that was all good. What you thought about Quan Alexander in this game?
About Quan, I mean, Quan looked good, man. He looked good. He looked like a natural linebacker, a Saints linebacker, running around, hitting people, jumping up and down.
Crazy,
I love how he looked out there, man.
It's crazy. Not Chauncey Gardner Johnson, Demario Davis can do what they want to do.
Yep.
I mean, if you got the whole defense.
Gardner Johnson looked good, man. He was awesome today, man. He was spectacular. Loved how good he played.
And then shit, Malcolm Jenkins, he had another great game. That's the third game in a row. Game in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. And then I mean, David Onyemata, he out there tossing people. I said, tossing running back. I'm like, wow, unbelievable. It was that was fun. I said, he tossed the guy. I've seen Cam Jordan do that a lot. This man over here tossed the running back. I mean, he could. I mean, it was just a great game by the defense. I don't worry about the offense. Why should I worry about the offense that's been top 5 the past 15 years? That's all I want to know. Why should we? That's the one thing people don't even talk about no more. Why should I worry about this offense? I know for a fact if we get a good practice with James Winston, I know we're going to score points. It don't matter. I mean, it's well known. Why should I worry about the offense? That's what we're doing for the past 15 years. It's about this defense. It's about this defense. How it's doing good right now. That's what I like. I don't care about I mean, scored 27 points. When the last time we had a game like that, we scored 27 points. The team on the field scored 13 points. 10 years ago, we probably would have lost that game. It would have been the shootout. It's just hard work pays off, man. Drafting, getting the right free agents, everything comes together. It's a team win, bro. It's called a team. It ain't called one. It's called a team. Offense, defense, special teams. But I guess we can't talk about that no more. It's all about offense today, right?
No, it's all about team play, bro. You're absolutely right. You got to win as a team. I mean, that makes perfect sense, and that takes pressure off everybody when everybody brings what they.
It's called balance, bro. It's called balance.
Absolutely.
That's what people don't talk about. They don't talk about it. I mean, we got to get shit. Our running game's not terrible, but it's not the worst in the league. Last time I checked, we're like top 10 in running, so we just gotta keep running the ball. And now we're definitely gonna win the ball. Take my pressure off of James, and that's if James wins. That's if he plays. We don't know what's gonna happen. I know he's gonna have a great game plan. I mean that. I know Pitt's gonna have a great game plan. I know he's gonna put the best guys out there to make the best plays out there. So, I mean, it's his offense. You know what? It's their offense. It's their offense. It's not his offense. It's their offense. They run it. Without them, he can't win the offense. So it's their offense. It's their football team, not his. So looking forward to next week. I know we're gonna win it. Last year there's no more games. I don't see it anymore. They're locked and loaded, and they're just ready to whoop somebody's ass. That's as simple as that.
Yeah, you're right, brother Donald. We take it's a game by game approach. The Saints 7-2 right now, and double-digit win over a hated rival. You know, they're not exactly. We get another hated rival coming in there next.
You know what's crazy? That's not even the biggest. Atlanta's not even the biggest rival. It's the 49ers.
Yeah, you talking those two left. Yep.
I mean, to me, it was always the 49ers. It was never the Atlantis. I mean, what are you crazy? I mean, they had their games, but it was the 49ers. 49ers gave us more trouble than anybody. I mean, you look back at history, it was always the 49ers. We couldn't win those championships because the 49ers was in the same conference. Well, the same conference, same division. I mean, we couldn't beat their team. They had the quarterback. We didn't.
Joe Montana. Yeah, I remember those years. Them old NFC West days. I remember them NFC West days. So I remember.
We had the big. We should have been in the NFC Central with the Packers. I can see us actually having the opportunity to be in those big games. Well, we had the 49ers. I mean, come on, man. They weren't gonna beat that team. How they were constructed, how they were coached, how they kept being in all them Super Bowls, all the experience. I mean, come on, man. But that's how good that team was back then.
Yeah, most of those teams though, those matchups we have with the 49ers, the Saints barely. It was either between 3 to 7 point losses with those. They played them. Correct. They just knew how to close those games, man. But we tried.
They had great coaching. Great coaching.
Oh yeah, man.
Great coaching.
Steve Walsh was there, and Walsh left and had George Seifert stepped up in there after that.
George actually did a better job than Walsh did.
Yeah. Seifert was a hell of a coach.
That was outstanding. Then after that, they had to go through rebuild. Oh no, who they had? I can't think of the dude's name. Oh God, Steve Mariucci. He was there, but then that didn't work out. But then after that, they had to go in the rebuild, and now they got Kyle Shanahan. And Shanahan came from the 49ers. His dad, and he coached under George Seifert. All that connected. And Mike Holmgren, the Packers. He had his guy. He had Brett Favre. I can't get to do the Mike Shanahan. He came from the 49ers with Steve Young. So they all had it was all a tree. But that's what the 49ers was. Everybody on their coaching staff became head coaches. Either went to the playoffs and had their own team, went to the playoffs, or they went to the Super Bowl. And I mean, it was just that's how good that team was.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we had our, we fought tooth and nail.
Well,
different year nowadays, bro. We take care.
It's different now. It's just it was
flip that narrative.
Well, it's different now because we're just a better football team, and people can't stand it. They can't stand what we do. I can't believe that we got penalized for what happened in the lock. I said, "Are you absolutely out of your minds?" That's what I know. They have a bounty. See, that's what I'm talking about. Bounty Gate, all this other stuff. It was never true. It was just sabotaging our football team because we were doing so good. They can't stand us winning, and then they said.
That's what it is, bro. And the cool part about it is we done got acclimated to it. That's why we prepare the way we do. But Don, I appreciate you chiming in, bro. I don't want to cut you off, but we got a couple Go ahead, I'll give you the last word and we'll move on.
No, there's got people out there actually believe all this stuff. I'm like, they give you this stuff on the news. I don't even look at news anymore. They give you this stuff and this people actually believe. I'm like, it's not true. They just can't stand us winning. And that's sad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I figured it out. I figured it out, man. You can't beat me with it no more. I know what it is, and if you said to believe it, go right ahead. I'm gonna tell you what, you the fool. I'm not gonna be the fool because I figured it out. I just said the NFL cannot stand us winning.
Too bad.
That's just too damn bad.
Too goddamn bad.
It's too damn bad. You should never let us be as good.
Right. You shouldn't have let us in the league if you was gonna play with us like that. Now we're gonna take everything.
Too damn bad. We're just gonna take every fucking day. But but look, you know what? It's good. It was a good win. Look forward to next week. We'll talk during the weekend. That's even if that happens. But other than that, it's all good. But look, man. You have a good night, man.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate you, bro. Who that to you?
All right, man.
All right, let's move on. Appreciate Donald with the call. They're gonna go on to Trey. Trey, what's happening, fam? How you doing?
What's up, Q?
How you doing, my friend? How you appreciate? Hey, bro, I appreciate you chiming in tonight. Much love to you, bro. And what's your thought process on the game, bro? How you felt it went on?
100%. I'm not really sure on the Drew Brees situation. Like you were saying earlier, I feel like with the wrestling move, I feel like that's just like saying we don't even need a offensive line. You just let them just come right through there and didn't even try and put up no effort because you just let Drew Brees get hit and didn't even. I could see if you tried to get a flag or anything, didn't even try and fight back with the man or anything. Like you just let Drew Brees get hit, and I don't even see how Peyton and get in on him. And another thing is with the no interference call with Thomas. I don't see how they didn't get that early. I think it was in the middle of the game.
Yeah, it was quite a few questionable calls that you mentioned, bro. I mean that was the one of the most egregious ones to me was the helmet or the forearm to the helmet of Tre'Quan Smith that concussed him. You know, that was absolutely a dirty, rotten shame, and it was several other penalties that could have been thrown. Pass interference, they had one I seen in the end zone. And it's like, oh, it was a good no call because they were both tussling for the ball. That's not what the rule said. The rule says that the defender ain't supposed to have his hands on him after 5 yards. And if the defender have his hands on him and he trying to go into a break, that's a flag. But if that would have been you on the opposite end, you would have got that call. But I won't get into all that because we know, just like Donald said, is that they hate to see you win, and the referees come to help your opponents. That's always been the case. You know, and my spiel is that we try to win and beat these teams and beat the teams and make as less mistakes as we possibly can. So we also eliminate the referees from helping out the other team because they will try to help out the other team. You know, and that guy, like I said, that 49er defensive back should have been thrown out the game for a forearm to the man helmet. That he should have been thrown out the game, and he should have a hefty fine. But see,
100%.
Not protecting him. But go ahead, Trey. What's your comment on that, bro?
I feel like 100% he should have been thrown out the game with no type of referee huddle, no nothing. That should have been an automatic ejection for the way that he handled himself with that situation. And the fine part, I feel like that should be a hefty fine. Just like they gave the Rams defender a fine for the pass interference that they got us for last year in the playoffs. I most definitely feel like they should fine him heavily for that.
Mm-hmm.
And another topic I want to go on is the game plan for next week. I feel like the game plan for next week should most likely be, like I was saying in the chat, should most likely be like Taysom Hill and Winston getting playtime like they would do in college. I know some people might not see it as like a good way to do it, but if you think about it, it's most likely getting both of them in like it's working both of them out, and it's getting Jason is getting Winston more time like with the offense and working him into the offense instead of just throwing him out there like that. And Taysom, I feel like they should work him more into the passing game because when Taysom get in the game, he always do that little flick play to the outside and then running the ball through the middle. I feel like they should most definitely find a different play that could work. And they had a third down play, I think it was like 3rd and 4, where Taysom got the ball and got stopped like 4 or 5 yards short. and that should have most definitely been like a pass play throughout the middle where Thomas like ran through the middle with a slant play, did a little quick out route or something, and that should have been a first down instead of a 3 and out.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, man, as well. I mean, we most certainly we have to be able to get this together, man. We really do. And of course, we don't know what's going to happen with Drew Brees. Drew could very well just have a case of bruised ribs, and the Saints just sit him for practice this week, and and like they do a lot of them guys, they give them a shot and then they'll be good, and they just kind of take it easy on them. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out, if it'll be something like that, but I'm expecting at least one game. But if that's the case, if it's multiple games, it could be a scenario like we've seen with Teddy Bridgewater. And I hear a lot of people make the comparison between Teddy Bridgewater and Jameis Winston. And I think Jameis Winston is more talented than Teddy Bridgewater, but I think Teddy Bridgewater is more cerebral than Jameis Winston. He's a little bit more brainy to the game, if you know what I mean. He kind of sees things different as opposed to Jameis, who has all the tools in the toolbox, but he need to work on his discernment and knowing where to get rid of the ball. And of course, he has the gunslinger mentality to a degree too, try to fit balls in tight windows everywhere.
Yeah.
I think they need to work with him, and I think they can get him up good enough until Drew comes back. But once again, we have to see where that's coming from. And see how long Drew is going to be out to get a good idea on what needs to be done. But like I've said, the bonus is we have all the other weapons around him, that any quarterback, you're commanding a top 5 Saints offense. Elvin Kamara, Mike Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, all of those guys are there. So if it's not like the offense is just banged up, we might lose out on Drew, but you got a lot of great weapons. You still take command. We just have to give them the full bevy of the running attack to balance it, similar to what we did Teddy Bridgewater last year. But we do get the deep ball game in there as well. But I agree. I like a lot of what you're saying, Tracer. I think that's you spot on with your analysis, bro.
Yeah. I just got about like 2 or 3 more questions for you.
Sure.
Keep it real short. The next question I got is I had got this from someone else. Do you think the future quarterback for the Saints is on a team in college, in the NFL somewhere?
I would say in the NFL somewhere. I like Jameis Winston. He very well could be here. I know Taysom's going to be here. I don't think Taysom's the future at quarterback.
I think his future here is most definitely locked down. The Winston situation, I'm not really too sure on what they're going to do with that, because they can most definitely keep him for this year. And like we were saying with the Teddy Bridgewater situation, look at him now. He with the Carolina Panthers, and he got hurt today, so I'm not really sure what they could do. But I'm sorry for cutting you off. You keep going.
Thank you. But that's a part of it. I think it's more likely that the Saints, if Drew does retire and step away from the game after this year, Jameis Winston is a logical choice because he's a guy that had been 1 year underneath the Saints system. He had that relationship with a lot of the playmakers there. He has all that experience, championship, in college, and then 5 years of experience. And he's in the middle of his career. I think he's 26 years old. He's right now in the prime of his career. So he really is motivated to take the reins of the team. But me personally speaking, we'll see how he do here. But from a belief standpoint, I think that if anything, the Saints, if Drew does retire, I think the Saints go in and find him a veteran in free agency. There'll be several really good ones available. And of course, the cap will be compressed. We'll see how they work around that. I don't think the Saints draft a quarterback in the draft because that's not what what Sean Payton does. He does. He's not. That's one thing I've never seen Payton do, was to draft a quarterback with the first round pick and then develop this guy into a starter. It's just something that I just don't think he has, not saying he can't do, but I've never seen him do it. And I don't think that's what he will really do. Wouldn't it be sensible to go see if you can land a Stafford or a Rodgers, or Aaron Rodgers, or even a Phillip Rivers to bring him in here on a deal that will work with the cap situation. The quarterback your team for a couple of years. But like I said, the draft, I don't think the quarterback is there. He has several opportunities to get future franchise-size quarterbacks and completely whipped on it. I mean, he had an opportunity to get my homeboy. He could have moved up. He didn't have to sit where he was. He could have got the capital and moved up and grabbed Mahomes as opposed to sit there and wait for Kansas City to move up there and get him. He said that. Lamar Jackson, he moved up to the pick to get Lamar Jackson, but then settled on Davenport over Lamar Jackson, which a lot of people, that would ever be in the mental matrix of the Saints. So he had an opportunity to get a Lamar Jackson, then passed up on it. So I don't think it's in the Sean Payton's mentality to draft a quarterback and develop him into the future, even though I think that would be a small move. I just don't think Sean Payton's going to do that. I mean, he got after this year, he got 3 more years left on this contract with the Saints. And you think he's going to spend a lot of that time developing a young quarterback? No, absolutely not. So I think it'll be a veteran. If not Jameis on the team, it'll be a veteran in free agency.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like this shit is like a Super Bowl, most definitely like a flunk type of year, because if we don't make the Super Bowl this year, and God forbid we don't, if we don't make the Super Bowl this year, I most definitely feel like the quarterback it has to be a veteran, because you can't just lose Drew Brees and depend your whole season on Winston. I feel like you have to go get a veteran that has done this for many and plenty of years in these type of situations. And I also feel that the Saints team is too I don't want to say mature, but more I'm gonna just go mature. I feel like the Saints team is too mature and older and more, or we just gonna go with mature. But I feel like they're more mature enough to not go with a rookie. I don't feel like they should go with a rookie, because you have too much talent on that team to put all your hopes and dreams into a rookie.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I like I said, it's based on if you look at Peyton's contract here, his history of dealing with young quarterback, he talk a mean game about going look at them. But when it comes down to actually getting them and bringing them in here and develop them into players, I mean, if you look at some of the guys that Peyton drafted over his last 10 plus years in the Saints and team, those quarterbacks, I mean, you can look at a guy like, I guess, what's his name? He went to Philadelphia as a backup. He was a highest paid backup in the league. The Saints wanted to keep Chase Daniels, but he was a free agent guy. He's an undrafted guy. The team brought here. He wasn't drafted. So, like I said, I just think that's just not what Coach Payton does. He wants to get the veteran guys, so it's a shorter learning curve, so they can help guide the team. So if Drew calls it quits, I'm saying the Saints looking at free agency and trying to make something work that way.
Yeah. Another question I got: how you feel on the Quan Alexander trade? Like, do you feel that we needed that, and do you think we should have gave up Kiko and the 5th round pick for Quan Alexander?
I mean, right now the Saints, we gave up a pick to go back in the back of the 7th round to pick up this guy. We turned into a tight end, then only to release him so he can go to the Carolina Panthers. We kind of dusted on that. We had also had Saquon Hampton, 5th round pick that we drafted, then put Saquon Hampton in the street. So, I mean, we've been, I think a lot of people not paying attention to the draft, like drafting of these guys, because we spanking them in the undrafted market. And that's helping the drafted guys look good when you spanking them in the undrafted market, meaning you picking up guys like Malcolm Roach, Shy Tuttle, Taylor Stallworth before he got released. You got guys like Deontay Harris, who's undrafted free agent. You got other characters you're bringing on the team to help out in roles that's actually getting on the team. Undrafted guys that's on the practice squad like Bashi and the rest of these guys. So, and then, undrafted guys with Clapp and Cameron Tom and all these other guys that's helping. Even Josh Hill is an undrafted guy, and a few more are Marquez Callaway. You know, these talented young players is getting on the team, and Dwayne Washington. It goes on and on. So, you know, like I said, I think the Saints do a tremendous job in fulfilling a lot of the core role moves, and they have a reputation among undrafted college free agents of being a destination where you can go to get substantial playing time. And if you ball, the Saints will put you on the team. We have a reputation of doing that. That's why we get some of the best undrafted college free agents that fall through the cracks of the draft here. So it's the, you know, it's just, I just think that as far as with that, that's concerned, bro. Quan Alexander, man, in his first game, he wasn't perfect. I seen him miss a tackle or two out there, but you know, his intensity is right there. But this is his first game after all, and we expected him to do well. And let us not lose focus of why this move was made to bring Quan Alexander here, because he covers the tight end. And that's something that the Saints, that Alex Anzalone could not do. Now, the Saints made some mistakes by putting Alex Anzalone as the Mike linebacker, and he didn't adjust to that position. He was playing hesitant, and we noticed that. And I was saying, man, that he's not looking. Do we notice that he's not hitting like he was? He's not running, and perhaps he was trying to earn that contract. But guess what? The Saints paid Demario Davis the money, and then the Saints then traded a 5th-round draft pick. And of course, those picks will mean something as we get into next year, because the Saints have to get their 80 to 90 something $1 million over the cap for next year. So we're going to have to compress and get rid of some contracts, cut some stuff, cut some people. So the draft picks are going to be special to kind of replenish whatever we get rid of. So I understand that. But Kiko Alonso wasn't going to serve. Kiko Alonso wasn't going to help the Saints. They knew that. Kiko Alonso cannot cover the tight end. Alex Anzalone was way more athletic than Kiko Alonso. And when the Saints realized that they're not going to be using the 4-3 defense like talking about, they might use that 5 or 6 times in a full game. The majority of the time they're in that modified nickel. You need two linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, and the other guy that ain't Demario Davis, who has the Mike linebacker job now. He should have been at it, being that he's the smartest linebacker you have. He's a team leader, and the guy makes plays like he was doing today. It's Quan. Now, Quan covers the tight end. He's sideline to sideline and everything. And that hurt Alex Anzalone. When they gave Demario that money, they said, hasta la vista to Alex Anzalone, because, you know, you can't cover the tight end, you can't help us. And that's why Quan is here. That was a Super Bowl, a bust move. That was a Super Bowl move by the Saints to get somebody that can cover that goddamn tight end so that them safeties can play too high, because that'll eliminate the deep ball throwing. And then the Saints are going to require their linebackers to do a lot. That means blitz like Demario was doing. You've seen Quan doing it. You've seen that the modified nickel package with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, how many times he was getting thrown in the mix. That because those guys around that centered around your 4 linemen are truly that they're going to be using those guys a lot. So they need a guy that can be out there every play, that can play the run and the pass as well. And that's what Quan Alexander represents. So the Kiko Alonso situation is Kiko Alonso, if he was 100% healthy, he wouldn't have been able to help you. He cannot cover the tight end. Alex is better than him at that. So he was and the Saints realized it. They got rid of him and 49ers took him in because he had a cheap contract. The Saints took on a $50-something million contract of Quan Alexander, but rest assured, this might be a 1-year move, because they could very well cut him after this year. They said, well, why would you do that, Q? Because you got Zach Bowen there, who's a cheap option. This was a move for the Super Bowl, because they're not going to pay him $12 million over the next 2 years. After this year, you get 580-something thousand, whatever it is, for this year. And then next year, it jumps to 12 million. Then the following year is 12 again. So ain't no way in the world the Saints going to do that. So don't be surprised if the Quan Alexander experience just be for this year, just to get the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And another thing is, I feel like a lot of coaches and a lot of sports representatives feel like Sean Payton take a lot of risk with the draft picks that he do take. Like you said, a lot of undrafted people. I just looked up the stat, and we picked up 13 undrafted people this year, and that was that's a lot compared to you only get 7 draft picks, and that's crazy because that means that you also pick people up in the off season. So it's 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 just crazy for people to think that there's no talent in undrafted people and people that's not coming out of college. And I don't see. And another story about the Budweiser punt returner that we had.
Yes, Michael Lewis.
Yeah, was undrafted, worked right down from the Saints facility. So, in the Saints Hall of Fame. So I'm not really sure how people can even make that comment or anything. And we have a lot of talent in the undrafted column.
That's what we do, bro, and that's been the trend that the Saints have been doing because it's cheaper to build a team that way, and it also, if you can make flubs and mistakes in the draft and get away with it because you got undrafted guys on the team. I mean, you got some, and they work for cheap. I mean, you're basically paying these guys in trash bags and Skittles. I mean, that's pretty much, you're not paying a lot of money for these undrafted guys. I mean, you're not, and they give you great value. They play like their hair on fire because they're trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
And many times that is just what that's showing you about the Saints and the undrafted market is the fact that the undrafted market in scouting is not an exact science. That's showing you that the scouts get it wrong all the freaking time. It's not an exact science. So the Saints basically sit there, and when people talk about the draft, it's not just about the 1st through 7 round picks. It's what happens after the draft when the Saints pick up running backs. How many running backs, undrafted free agent running backs, the Saints picked up who who have names that contributed? How about Corin Robinson? How about Chris Ivory? How about Pierre Thomas? How about some of the wide receivers of yesteryear? Lance Moore? How about some of those guys? So like I'm saying, and then of course the back end of the draft where the Saints do their best work from in my opinion, from the 3rd to the 7th round, when they're able to move around and make plays, they can find those jewels like they did Marcus Colston and guys like that. So, and we've gotten better over the years of developing that talent as well. So, I mean, I think that's the Saints are a prime team to go into next year with that example. They find the best undrafted guys, and for teams that struggle with that, they're going to have issues. The Saints do not. So, that's why I have to give the black and gold a lot of credit on there, because you wouldn't have Malcolm Roach blowing up. You wouldn't have Carl Granderson doing his thing as well. He's kind of slowing right now. But you wouldn't have some of these guys, the Shy Tuttles, King Tut, Taylor Stalwart, and all them type of guys, if it wasn't for them looking at the undrafted guys and bringing them in here and seeing what they can contribute. So, like I said, family, the Saints will be all right as far as the undraft goes, but we've been making some mistakes in the draft, to be honest with you. And we're just starting to get good value on Traquan Smith and Trey Hendrickson after years of futility, injuries, inconsistencies, and they finally arrived this year. So good, thumbs up for the patience of the Saints too for not giving up, because a lot of people's like, let's get Traquan Smith up out of here, Q. Let's get him up out of here. Let's get Trey Hendrickson out of here. And I say, I love Trey Hendrickson, but he couldn't stay healthy. But in his final year, he's staying healthy for the Saints this year, and is one of the top sackers in the league. So you got to give him credit for sticking with these guys, man, and not bringing in, because I would have brought in veterans behind them because they hadn't showed me the trend to stay healthy. So I'm like, okay, listen, I'm not anticipating you getting hurt. For just insurance case, I'm going to bring in Cameron Wake. I'm going to bring in some of these other guys to kind of fortify it. You still play, but if something happens, I can roll to these guys behind me to fortify that kind of situation. But the Saints, for truth be told, they've been relatively healthy, and I anticipate we're going to get most of these guys back that were hurt today, and we'll see what the word is on Drew moving into the week. That will be the biggest news item early on in the week is what's up with Drew.
Yeah. Do you feel like we could we're most definitely like Super Bowl contenders, and like what teams do you feel like we could most definitely beat if we were to make it to the Super Bowl or the playoffs?
Yes, we are Super Bowl contenders. With Drew, we Super Bowl contenders. Without Drew at quarterback, we're good enough to make a playoff run. We're not. We need Drew in there to be a Super Bowl contender because he's the head of the whole machine. He on the field, he's the head of the machine, and he guides the whole freaking thing. That's how important Drew Brees is, and he has a camaraderie and a synergy with all of the pieces around him. And we need him for that Super Bowl run to max out and get it. We are a playoff team, in my opinion. Without him, if we have Jameis there, I realize that Coach Payton will ride on that running game and use it like he did with Teddy Bridgewater. And the reason why somebody put in the chat say, "Q, are we making a comparison between Bridgewater and Jameis Winston, the guy that was hit for 2 years, and the guy versus the guy that's just been here?" Well, it's the same thing. If you're not making a comparison of the years or the time. It's not about the time that they've been here. It's about the process. The same. You're only making a comparative. Look at the process of how they got on the field during the season.
Yeah,
the quarterback, and it will be the same process. That's what you look at. You cannot look at the fact that Teddy was here for 2 years and Jameis just got here. That's you're not going to get any good information out of that sort of comparison. But all you can look at is the role of how the situation rolled out for Jameis is similar to what has happened last year for Teddy. So what you mean by that, Q? What I mean by that is that the Saints are going to do the same thing they did with Teddy Bridgewater last year. That means give him a running game and give him a certain amount of packages that he's comfortable with, and Sean will then wrap around and orchestrate, or better word, tailor fit the offense for Jameis like he did for Teddy Bridgewater last year. It'll be the same process. So, I mean, that's something, and you better use the same process because that process was successful. You better not use nothing else. You tailor the offense around Jameis like you did for Teddy Bridgewater. Any other comparison years is futile. That makes no sense to do that. But go ahead, Trey. I'm going to let you make this comment. I got Cedric. Hold on, Cedric. I appreciate you being patient. And then I'm going to let you make your comment, bro, your question. Then I'm going to bring Cedric in after that. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, and we need to get these injuries under control too, because we can't really be thinking about going too deep in the playoffs with all these injuries. We got 5 questionable players for next week and further on, and we got 5 players that is confirmed that's going to be out for the rest of the season. So we really most definitely need to be thinking about these injuries. And the 49ers, we're just going to talk about that again. The 49ers played a terrible game with the way that they played. That was like they say unsportsmanlike. That wasn't even unsportsmanlike. That was on a whole nother level on how they played that game. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that they probably just only find that guy, Trey. It's a shame, man. He should have been thrown out and ejected. Hopefully, he get hit with a heavy fine because he concussed him. He hit him in his helmet. The NFL has been doing. And listen, and I also seen another play where the defensive guy put his hands in the face mask of one of our offensive players and grabbed his mask, hands to the face. That wasn't called. I mean, I see all of the stuff. I see the holding that they don't call, the pass interferences that they don't call, but I just merely documented it here because I know that the Saints more than likely will not get those calls, and that the referees turn a blind eye to a lot of stuff because it's too consistent. It's too consistent of 9 calls. Usually, when you see a guy grab, like last game, the guy grabbed. I remember not the last game, but the game before the last game against Tampa Bay, Kamara's face mask was grabbed twice in that game, no call. And usually a face mask is something that you're supposed to catch if you are a referee.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. So what I'm saying is I always blast the referees on this show. There ain't no doubt about it because they are crooked. That's how they enter. And I keep telling people that, and I don't care if they like it or not. I'm going to blow the smoke off for that and tell them that that's how the NFL manipulate games through the refs. Years ago, it used to be point shaving where they would use certain players to do it. But now
I feel like they gave a lot of makeup calls to the 49ers this game too.
No doubt.
Like if they missed the call in the first quarter, they give them a bull crap call in the second quarter. Like how could you that man ain't even do this? This ain't even happening. You calling this like he was running out of bounds and they gave us a illegal contact call. Like there was no way. He wasn't even, his foot was still in bounds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man, to say the least. You know, it's and that's a part of it, Trey. We just as a family base have to recognize the fact that the referees is going to do that. They're going to do that. They're not going to call the holding calls. I've literally seen offensive linemen grab Cam with two hands and grab his arm and yank him, and you can see his body jet, and the referee don't call nothing. So I mean, I don't really, give a rats or whatever to referees. I got several shirts in the pro shop, literally lambasting the referees. Hell, I got a T-shirt called a dad slap with me slapping the piss out of a referee. So I can tell you how much I care about the referees. You know, there's a ref you suck shirt. That's all kind of stuff. Y'all check that out in the pro shop. Show your ref hating style. But the reality is, at the end of the day, it's absolutely right. We cannot count on the referees to win these games, and we're not. Despite the fact that they call pathetic games against the Saints and call minimal calls against your opponents, you still sitting up there 7-2. You know, and despite all odds, we still gonna continue to win games because we understand now that we playing two teams, not just our opposition, but also the referees as well. And there is no home field advantage for you when you would get calls, because there was such a thing as home field advantage where the referees give an advantage, a noticeable edge to the home team when they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to be fair and just. But the mere fact that we recognize this home field advantage lets you know that the refs are slanted and biased. Home field or away field shouldn't have a damn thing to do with it if you call in the game the correct way, if you're unbiased and just and fair. So, you know, that's just a whole nother story. I care not to get into it because that'll be a whole hour with me lambasting. But Trey, bro, thanks for, man, great questions, great commentary, bro. Appreciate you joining the show, man. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, bro. And feel free to chime in more so, bro. We'd love to hear from you in the future.
Yeah, most definitely. My fault. I didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed because I watch all the time, bro.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Trey. Appreciate you, bro. Who that to you, bro?
Who that?
Peace. All right, it's young Trey, man. Good brother, man. Smart young brother, man. Got plenty of good sense. You breaking the game down, looking at it, man. And let me tell you something, bro. You know, it's just like when we hear from people, young people, they got their head turned on straight. People like Smokeless and Trey and the rest of the young family members, man. You know, that's good to know that, you know, some of that stupid garbage propaganda is not influencing them like that. They got great critical thinking mindset, and I love that, man. I love that because we, as young people, they got to keep that, because they'll be chumps and they'll chump them, bro. They'll chump you. They'll try to chump you if you don't have you got to be able to see the world that way. They call it 3-dimensional thinking. That's what they call it. They call it, and a lot of people out there don't have that mentality. That means being able to take an object. Basically, you take an object. Say you take this pen, and you take this pen, 3-dimensional thinking, man. You look at this pen from 3 different angles so you can get a good view of what this pen looks like. You get what I'm saying now? That's what it is. When you take an item or anything and you spin that around, look at it from the top, you look at it from up underneath, side to side, so you can get a good analogy, a good breakdown of it. And that's what it is. And they got more than 3-dimensional thinking, but they like to say that that's how they use to whip these constructs on people. But the only thing you have to do is use that critical analysis and not believe what they say without research, and not believe people when they say they're the source of something. Go back and you do your research like you're supposed to do, and do not be lazy, because that's how they trick you. Anyway, we're going to big ups to the rest of the family members chilling in the chat. We're going to bring in Brother Cedric in a minute. Cameron, who that to you, Cameron, bro? Kind of simmer it down, my brother. I understand you. I'm mad at him too, bro. You know, big ups to you. Kyle says, my homeboy was a rookie before he looked. Yep. And the rest of the fam. Good to see you, brother. Iceman, I see you, fam. Iceman, Sting Man. What's up, Sting Man? Good to see you. Say the worst thing about the 9 call by the refs against the Saints is that it's consistent. Yes, sir, it is. It gets to a point where you cannot say, okay, you just tripping, Q, because they used to tell me that. And I would sit up here and tell people, listen, man, the refs are against the Saints. This, that, and the third. Well, they do that to everybody. No, they don't, man. They don't do that to everybody like the national media don't hate on everybody. You get hated on, even blocked out when you get victories and wins. You get under talked about. And I'm telling you the truth because that's why this show is here today. We're going to bring in Brother Cedric. How you doing, Brother Cedric? First and foremost, thank you for being patient, bro, and welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, Big Q. How you doing?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good, bro. Feeling good. Doing great. Like Donald said, don't say good, say great. So I said exemplary.
I just want to piggyback on. I want to piggyback off what you were saying about the making the playoffs without Drew Brees. I think we absolutely can because it looks like when these quarterbacks or something go down for us, that is when we see the best out of our defense. I think we can go to the Super Bowl if Brees is not 100 because the defense. I'm telling y'all go see a shift and change come this game against the Falcons. The defense is going to play lights out. I'm telling you, they did it against when Teddy Bridgewater had to step up. Who was the one that was leading the charge? The defense. They was getting off the field on third downs. They was playing consistently each and every game. Like that Seahawks game, you remember that game, Big Q? Nobody expected us to go in there and win that game. They said we were like underdogs, and we went in there and almost blew them out. And you know what I'm saying? We had Russell Wilson looking foolish out there. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just glad. I'm not glad that Brees got injured, but I think it's going to teach us that, hey, Drew Brees is not the only thing that's keeping this train going. I mean, we have a great coach in Sean Payton. Sean Payton is one of the best coaches in the NFL. In my opinion, he is the best. He can call good plays, and he can make these plays for these quarterbacks. See, Jameis Winston has had coaches all their life only think about them and not him. See, that's not how Payton rocks. Payton is thinking about this team, and he's thinking about winning another championship because I think that's what he wants. I think once Payton gets this another championship, I think he go retire. That's what I think. I think he wants a championship. And Payton is a good play caller. And I just want to say, do not lose faith in this team if Brees go down. We have to keep the faith because I know they're gonna give us a headache. We know they give us one every Sunday. We just got to keep the faith in this team and in this defense in order for us to go over the hump. We cannot sit up here and be mad at them just as one play don't go our way. Like I kept saying, I mean, man, just because they playing bad in this first quarter, y'all can't sit up there and get mad. We got to keep the faith, like you say, Big Q. It ain't always go your way. You got to sit up there and just keep on trucking, and that's what we did. We could have sat up there and just let the 49ers go all over us, but we didn't. The defense said, hold on. Y'all ain't finna just sit up here and do what y'all think y'all finna do. And they tried to run that ball. You kept seeing them trying to run that ball, and every time they run it, the D-line just kept blowing them up. I just want to say, do not lose faith in this team. We have one of the best teams. We have two good team leaders on defense, and Cameron Jordan and Malcolm Jenkins. Just look what he did when Carson Wentz went down there in Philadelphia. Jenkins brought that team to the Super Bowl, and they won against one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But that's what I want to get up here and say, Big Q. I don't like the whole a long time.
Well, Cedric, bro, you deserve the right to have the flow for a little bit while, bro. You was patiently waiting backstage, man. We got the Iceman coming up next. But, I mean, you're absolutely right. A part of that is true. We got to be able to listen, we've seen the defense step up. We've seen the offense come alive. And, of course, with Drew, I'm kind of upset about, in my feeling. I feel you, Cameron. Cameron is upset about the hit of Drew Brees getting pancaked, and I call it he suplexed him. He might as well suplexed him. He might as well jumped up on the ropes and suplexed him the way he went down.
The O-line didn't do nothing.
Didn't do nothing to him. He ain't push him. He ain't do nothing. I would have grabbed. I mean, and of course, you probably would have got a penalty, but that would have galvanized. It would have woke the team up as well. That will, because you can't let somebody do your quarterback like that, man.
He laid on top of you, Brees. I know you seen that, Big Q, when he laid on top for him.
Yeah, they saying it's showing today a portion of them was on the side. It was more on more of them was on Drew than was on the side. I don't know what the hell they talking about the hit. I don't agree with that. If you take a look at the hit, more of the man was on because it was a big guy. More of him was on Drew than was on. Listen, I put it to you like this: if that guy would have landed on the side and not put his weight on Drew Brees, then Drew would be dealing with back issues and not ribs issues. How you explain them if he landed on his side, like the ref said, like the guy, I don't like that, he landed on the side. Then how the hell Drew Brees could continue the game with rib problems? He has stiffness up in the rib area, not in his back area. I mean, when that guy went down, he landed, the majority of him landed on Drew and on the impact of him in the area in his front. If you take a look at the tape. Oh, he landed on the side. No, that's not true. That's not what I seen. I seen more of the big guy on Drew than off Drew.
And Big Q, he didn't have to hit Drew like that. I mean, we know how Drew is. Once Drew Brees see he getting hit, he don't try to stay up and stay in the pocket and then he just go down. That man laid on top of Drew for a few seconds and he landed on that shoulder that was hurting him, his throwing shoulder. He landed on top of his that whole side of his body right there. I honestly feel like Peyton should have been had Drew sitting on the sideline. I think Drew should sit out for these next 4 games. I think he shouldn't come back until we face the Chiefs, so he could be absolutely like they did Michael Thomas on his ankle. I don't think we should just rush Drew back in there because we can win games without Drew Brees. We saw that last year. We can win games with the defense. And I mean, I just don't know, man. I believe that hit was dirty, and then them commentators that get on my nerves. He go talk about, oh, that wasn't no dirty hit. I don't like the call. I bet if it would have been our players, let it be Sheldon Rankins on Nick Mullins. Oh, that's a bad call right there.
Let it be Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They sit up here and be biased, and I'm glad you call them out. Every time I come up here, you calling them out. And that's what they get because they biased and they stupid. Half of them don't know what they talking about. They just up there to get a check and kiss Brady and the rest of the old people. But it's like last week when we been up there and beat Tampa, they up there talking about some, oh, look at the Saints sitting up there jamming in the locker room. But we've been doing that. We've been doing that since last year. Before that, we've been sitting up there dancing and stuff in the locker room. You knew if you think we just started doing it, we do that every time we get a W. I just feel like these media and these refs is biased towards the Saints. Like when that dude hit Traquan Smith, I would have been all over Jimmy Ward because he did the same thing to Russell Wilson. That's why I think that man did it. Russell Wilson was sliding. Then they want to talk about some, oh, it didn't look like Russell Wilson was sliding. I clearly seen Russell Wilson sliding on the ground, and that dude just came up there. It was Jimmy Ward, wasn't it, that hit Russell Wilson?
I think it was Ward.
In that 49ers game when that Sunday.
I think it was Ward. It was either Tart or Ward. I want to say it was Ward.
I think it was him. Because he was trying to slide, and he sat up there and decked him, and that's how Bridgewater got injured. Remember, that's how he got injured in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just feel like these players, they sit up here and they do these dirty things and they don't call them. But let it be us, man. Let it be DeMario Davis or somebody hitting on somebody else. They would have ejected that man off the game. Like, I agree with what the last dude said. I think the dude was still in bounds when C.D. Deuce had hit him. That dude was still in bounds, and yet they call unnecessary roughness on him, man. Just like in that Packers game. You remember they called it horse collar tackle, and the dude, and he didn't even drive him out of shirt. He just tried to bring him down, but they call it a horse collar tackle. I mean, these, they mess up our game plan. We go up there and we do our job, and they call these, they don't call them. They call them on us, but they don't call them for us. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
We can go out there and commit a pass interference, but somebody could do it like, I seen about 3, 4, 5 pass interference today on Michael Thomas, and they didn't even call him. I seen about 5 holding calls on Cameron Jordan, just himself, and they didn't even call him. They was holding the shit out of Cameron Jordan and wouldn't even call for that man. And I say Cameron Jordan old too. I say y'all can't sit up there and let them people do that man like that. But yeah, I get mad at them, and I get mad because that pisses me off when they sit up there and do our team like that. And we have to fight each and every game for a win. I mean, if you the ref, you don't supposed to sit up there and be biased. You're supposed to sit up there and do your job. I believe it be the people in the front office telling them refs not to call these calls. What you think about that, Big Q? Because that's what I think. I think it's Goodell telling them not to call them calls on us.
I mean,
That's
well, I mean, he definitely he's the mindless brain that they use, but I think a lot of it is very corrupt. And I kind of compare it to boxing. You know, I'm a boxing man as well. And I've been recently in my series of podcasts I've been doing on Ring Kings Boxing, I've been kind of documenting to people how incredibly corrupt boxing is. So you got like what happened to Deontay Wilder, the former American heavyweight champion, he lost his belt to Tyson Fury, and he's claiming fraud. And then you have all these boxers coming out calling him crazy because he said he felt like his water was spiked, that, you know, his water was spiked, and that the man he was fighting had something in his gloves, and it must be something to it because he has a dent in his left pupil that wasn't there before the match. How did you? And nobody's hand's going to put a dent in somebody's skull, man. That's just not. And so, I mean, when I say that to say that there is historical evidence from fighters that put stuff in their gloves. There been fighters that were thrown out of the sport for when they put their wraps on underneath the glove, they put paste or something hard on the glove so it'll punch through the glove when they put the gloves on to go in there to have a punching advantage over their opponent. There are guys that take steroids to go in there and beat opponents. They had Mike Tyson, who just revealed, and we covered it on the last Ring Kings Boxing, that he had a prosthetic penis with children urine in it that he used to use to pass fights, to pass drug tests. This is how far people go to cheat in professional sports, because hundreds of millions of dollars are on the line. And then let us not forget where the lines of football are originated out of Vegas, and we know who started Vegas. You know, for many years, a lot of times people was running from Vegas and the casino industry and all that. They wouldn't want to have no attachment to it. Now everybody run. They put an NFL team there. I know Pat Tagliabue years ago and David Stern did not want to have their leagues affixated to Las Vegas because they didn't want the air of people to think that the game is some kind of way manipulated by the money and the lines. How you know the lines? So, I mean, they had plenty of guys that come out with books on this old stuff. So we know there's a dirty element to it. But the thing about it is that's not a foolproof way of stopping you. You can still win and defeat the referees and what they're trying to do by simply playing your game, eliminating the mistakes, and understanding what you're dealing with and what kind of game you're playing. Let's not walk around here like we Cinderella Alex in Wonderland, or Alice in Wonderland, whatever you want to say. But believe that if we play like that, you're going to get popped upside your head every time. You got to walk into the world and see the world as it is and not some fake plastic garbage Nickelodeon CW ass world. That don't exist. That don't exist. The real world is out here, and the people out here, they operate in frauds, and there are frauds upon frauds upon frauds upon. Let me tell you, I can have a 3-hour show laying down to you all the frauds that's out there that people don't even recognize, and they live in them every day. And I'm telling you. But the reality is that's what it is. We got to be able to keep our eyes open. If we do that, we could be able to beat these bastards 8 ways.
I'm gonna say this last thing, Big Q. I think if it wouldn't be for the refs, we would be 3-time Super Bowl champions right now. That's my honest opinion. I think if it wouldn't be for the refs and these non-calls that they don't call on us, we would be 3-time Super Bowl champions. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
The refs, us. And then they come up there with that old bounty gate. Oh, the Saints was good. The Saints was good. I mean, if it was a bounty gate, it obviously did not work in an NFC Championship game because the Vikings were murdering us. And I believe if they would have got the ball back in overtime, they probably would have won the game. And that's what I keep telling Vikings. Why y'all keep saying this stuff when Brett Favre played competitive every time he got the ball? I mean, y'all sit up there just want an excuse. The way y'all lost and we won, and we sat up there and won the title, and y'all have been 4 times and ain't win nothing. Just like the Falcons have been. They'd have been 4 times, ain't won nothing. But that's all I want to get up here and say, Big Q. I don't want to hold you up and let Ice Cream Man get up here and talk for you.
All right. Yep.
But you have a good one, Big Q. And who that to you?
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate your patience, my man. Who that to you, bro? And I'll talk to you later, bro. Peace. All right, that was Brother Cedric dropping the bombs, man. Much love. No, we're not doing any coverage on the Masters there. That's I don't play golf, bro. I got some history with boxing. You know, a co-host of Ring Kings Boxing is a former professional boxer by the name of Eddie Two Mean Johnson. And that's who do Ring Kings Boxing. So if we got boxing people in the building, please feel free to go and look in the links in the description section below and sign up for Ring Kings Boxing World. Also, we have a LSU podcast by LSU people, Tough Tiger Talk. And for our Pelican family out there, we have the Pelican Post Game Report, and we talk about them just as passionate as we deal with Saints. Listen, there's plenty of passion to go all the way around. So please look up those as well. So I'd like to thank all the family members. We got one more in the chat. Iceman is in the building. What's up, Iceman? How you doing today, bro?
Man, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir. Q. Oh, man. A lot of mixed emotions about this. Not necessarily about the game, just sort of the aftermath. I thought the game, I mean, I don't know how anybody else felt, but I didn't really feel that same like sense of urgency in this game. Not from the team. I'm just talking about myself. I wasn't really like worried about this game. Like I knew that all signs pointed to the Saints should have dominated this game. And you know what I'm saying? It took a little bit to get it going at first. But I think the game was good for the Saints. I think should be like a learning lesson to keep showing them and reminding them, no matter who's on the field, no matter who's your opponent, you always have to play with that same intensity. These guys are missing a lot of their starters, and they still came out there and fought. So and that's what they're gonna need. I think this was a good, just kind of a good refresh game for the Saints, especially heading into one of your most hated rivals. You know what I'm saying? Going into next week. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm in the majority, man. I want to see what's going on with this Drew Brees situation, man. And it's so crazy how this season is kind of mirroring last season. Like it is so crazy how, you know what I'm saying? Like we here we go again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm excited though. I mean, I know a lot of people may be worried. I'm excited. I want to see what's going to happen, man. I want to see, are we going to have another quarterback controversy between Taysom and Winston? I don't really think so, but it's a good thing to just see the competition between them two. I have a lot of questions about Jameis Winston, man. This dude, I mean, I saw him in the locker room. Got no problem with him, dancing and stuff like that. I got no problem with him celebrating the wins. You know what I'm saying? I got no problem with that. But I want to see what it's like when he's taking, depending on what's going on with Drew, if Winston's going to be taking the first team reps and stuff like that. I want to see his development. I want to see if his maturation process is the same, like a Teddy Bridgewater when he was thrown in that position last season. I do think that the situations are kind of the same, but I think that we have to keep in mind, family, that the players are different. And by that I mean I think Teddy's style of play is more similar to Drew than Winston's is. And what I mean by that is Teddy kind of has the same he's not as good at it as Drew, but he does the same kind of take what the defense gives you type of thing, and throw the ball deep when you have to type of thing. And like everything with Teddy is kind of predicated on timing and stuff like that, just like how Drew is. So with Winston is like Drew's a gunslinger, but Winston, man, this dude, he tried to fit the ball into tight windows of coverage and everything and stuff like that. So with Teddy, he was a lot more cautious, and that's the difference between the two. So I want to see if Winston can overcome his turnover bug, because we know that this dude has had, some things in the past with turning the ball over. That's just a simple fact. But I want to see if can Sean get that under control. Will Sean run the ball, or will the arm of Winston be too enticing for him to not want to throw the ball? You know what I'm saying? See, it's stuff like that. It's the mentality stuff with me that I think about, because I know that we got the talent. So it never really bothers me about the players so much as what is the coaching gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So, I thought that the game played out exactly how it should have. I would have liked to see us pounce on them earlier, put up a lot of points earlier on them, and maybe we get Drew out of there early so he doesn't get this injury, or maybe we could change that. But that's the only thing I'm really worried about, man. You hit the nail on the head, Q. We did get battered and bruised in this game, man, and it's just a shame that it happened that way because I don't think this team was good enough to give us such a hard fight like that. But and I think we should have walked out of this game a lot healthier than we are. But the big domino, I mean, of course, is going to be Drew. You know what I'm saying? Can Winston Winston along with Peyton, or Peyton along with Winston, can they kind of recreate that flame that they had when you went 5-0 last season? That's really all I'm looking for, because I don't know what Drew got going on, but it don't look like he's gonna be playing next week. So chances are we're gonna have somebody in there that's not Brees. And I just want to see, you know what I'm saying, is Peyton gonna, call that same sort of flavor? But that's it, man. Thanks for taking my call, Q.
All right, Ice man, appreciate you, bro. Thank you. And who that to you, my friend?
Who that to you?
All right, that's the Ice man, another one of the young critical thinkers out there as well. Proud of you, the Who That Nation has a lot. The future's bright. Big ups to the family members for joining in the live stream. Much love to you and yours. Oh, Henry, what's up, bro? He said apparently 49's injury bug is contagious. Might have a point there, Henry. We did lose quite a few people, Armstead, and left the game, but I think most of those guys should be okay coming to next week. Drew, on the other hand, is definitely going to need some time off, and like I said, I think that'll probably be something that'll be a positive, if anything. I really do believe that. Leo says, how do you feel about the Saints defense? Thank you, Leo, for being here. Leo Moore, who that to you, bro? Thank you for joining. Please feel free to subscribe to all. If you're a new subscriber, if you're a new listener to the show, hit the subscribe button and join the Great Saint Think Tank. We here every day doing it, except for Saturdays. We have to take a break, but we produce over 50 shows a month in the building, so we are here. But thank you, Leo, for joining us. He said, how do you feel about the Saints defense? I think the Saints defense it looked good in this one. They stopped despite the 49ers had 248 offense, over 240 something yards worth of passing and a touchdown early on. They looked good early on. The defense put its foot in the ground and says no more. And we were able to stifle them out, force them out. We were able to get pressure on the quarterback. We were able to stuff the run again for the almost 50th game, which is, ridiculous. I think we're the best run stuffing unit in the league. And we're doing all this without Sheldon Rankins, who our second best interior defensive lineman. So we continue to show up, and I'm really proud of the defense. And I think the defense is only going to get better because of the fact that we had a major issue with guarding the tight end. With the tight end, with Quan Alexander locking down the tight end, I think that allows the safeties to do what they were supposed to do. And they're comfortable with that, and you'll see the elimination of a lot of the deep plays are supposed to be. But I think the defense is trending in the right way, and I think we're getting a lot better. Like I said, despite their offense having some synergy earlier, the defense did hold them to 13 points today. Let's give them a big round of applause for that. Also, I still say in great questions to the family members in the chat was actually about where the hell is Cam Jordan. Cam is there. He's getting doubled a lot. He even gets chipped. And I think that's on Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen, and I keep saying this, if you want to see Cam get free, you got to cycle Cam around. You can't, move him around the defensive line like the Texans do J.J. Watt. You will see him come alive. That's the thing. That's the one thing. Well, not the one thing, but probably one of the most glaring things, if I can make mention and say, listen, bro, to Dennis Allen, listen, man, move Cam up and down the line of scrimmage sometimes. Move him around. If he's starting on the right, move him on the left. Before the play starts, have him to switch sides with Davenport or Trey Hendrickson. Have him move inside. Move him around and create a mismatch like the Texans did with J.J. Watt. They will move him around and situate, and then the offense will have to slide protection to the side that Cam moved to, and they might not be good at doing that. So we might be able to create some confusion there we can capitalize off of. We need to start doing more of that. And I remember they used to call portions of it when you'll see the Patriots used to employ what they would term back in the day as the amoeba defense, where you'll see guys standing up, you don't know what they're going to do, then they get set and go. I'm not saying we take those principles, but we need to be a little bit more unpredictable in our use of moving versatile defensive linemen like Cam Jordan around. Instead of leaving them porched there, let's move them around that defensive line, create mismatches for them. We need to employ that in the book. We were doing a little of that last year. This year, not so much. We need to move Cam around to be able to find the mismatches to help him get going as well. So, but I like what the defense is doing, Leo, and I think we're trending in the right direction. Thank you for joining the show, my friend. Who that to you? All right, big ups to the rest of the family members. Dave says, when we play, who that to you, Dave? He says, when we played 49ers last year, we heard up a lot of players they didn't get back 100% till the Super Bowl. Thank you, bro, for that. Kevin in the bit says Lattimore is okay. All right, Kevin says, Q, how do you feel about Drew Holiday trade to Denver? We get Michael Porter Jr. I don't think that works, Kev, because he will conflict with what Brandon Ingram is, and I know DC believes that Ingram can play the 2-guard position. I would not do that. I think Michael Porter is a guy that has an upside. He can be something. I just don't like the trade for the Pelicans because I think it impacts what our all-star Brandon Ingram is at that 3 position. I like what he is at that 3 position, but I don't think they're offering Porter. Porter's off limits. Denver wants to give up Gary Harris and I can see the man, but I can't call his name out. It's Gary Harris and the other guy, the other 2-guard off the bench. The Pelicans were supposed to, they offered them that last year. The Pelicans told them no. So I don't think Denver has nothing that we want, to keep it real. Okay, let's keep it going there. Leo also says they allow 1 touchdown in 2 games we're peaking at. And I agree with you, Leo. You're right. Absolutely. Hayabusa 14 says, I'm a new subscriber. My brother shared your link. Good Saints Sport Talk. I like it. Thank you, bro. Appreciate Hayabusa 14. Welcome to the family, my friend. Thank you for joining the Great Saint Think Tank and the Sports Coma, my friend. Appreciate the love and welcome to the family. And the same to all of our new subscribers tonight. If you subscribe to the Sports Coma, welcome to the family. Who that to you, Daryl? Good to see my boy Daryl Hatcher chiming in as well. Pay attention, 26. Wash hands. All right. Cam is there. Tramal says Chauncey Gardner-Johnson played defensive end today. He beat their O-line. They could not stop him. They didn't make any adjustments, by the way. They must have thought he was a nothing. I mean, I would have made an adjustment at halftime to put a tight end over there, do something. But he just beat him like a drum. Jim Kev says Cam said he don't want to be moved down the line anymore. He said he don't like the anymore. Cam Jordan's words on the podcast. See, that's a shame because he's not generating something there. So forget all of that. Forget what he wants. If I'm the coach, I'm telling him, listen, you're not doing anything here. You're not producing a pass rush from this side. Let's move you around and create mismatches so you can get going. You see what I'm saying? Because what does he have? 2 sacks right now in the middle of the season? We know that he can fire off, but they're doubling him and leaving a lot of single coverage to Trey Hendrickson's side. Davenport's starting to get going. You see him act the fool in this game as well. So sooner or later, they're never going to not single block Cam Jordan. They're not. So just to create a mismatch, you're going to have to move Cam around, and that will help him get going. So when he started getting them sacks, he'll get up off that bull crap that he's talking about that. That's just crazy. All right. Tramal says Rob Ryan stood his defense up. This is the reality, though, man. That's the great thing about it, man, is that the Saints, the defense is definitely coming alive, and that's my only critique would be to move around Cam on that line, man. That's what my only critique would be. The Saints are playing really well. They're still stuffing the run, and they're getting better against the pass. They stopped the Niners today for 13, even though they had their backup quarterback in there and a lot of pieces. But this is a scrappy team that they went up against. And when the Saints lost key people like Drew, the team was flustered, but they didn't lose the game. They ran the ball and did enough to make it win, and they still beat the team by double digits and move on. So 2 back-to-back weeks of double-digit wins is where I see the Saints winning. Like the 27-13 matchup is a win that I thought they should have had against Green Bay, against the Raiders. those are wins that I thought should have been 27 to 28 to 14 type wins. You see what I'm saying? But being the Saints are being a little bit more balanced. And the fact of the matter is that with all that's being said about the loss of Drew, we don't exactly know, but I'm anticipating at least one game that he's going to be out. This big 300-pound son of a gun falls on you, and they talking about he fell on his side. Why is ribs hurting then? Why is his ribs hurting if he fell on his side? And then bear in mind, Drew's wearing a flak jacket. He's wearing like a flak jacket around. So, we know about the cushion underneath the turf. We know it's not like what it was in the 80s and the late 70s and 80s when they just put a carpet over the concrete and you basically getting tackled on the concrete mat. We know they got smart enough to know that that artificial turf and they had padding underneath there. It's a little bit more cushiony. But the reality is when you have a 300-pound guy grabbing you and you're in a vulnerable position, what Drew was, I think Drew was just threw the ball and his arm was like this. And the guy catches you when you like that, there is no way. And he's got 300 pounds and he's snatching you to the ground. There is no way to defend yourself. You're at the mercy of this guy. And how is his ribs hurt if the guy landed on his side? If you look at it, the guy, more of that big sucker landed on Drew than on his side. So, and they have people saying this is the worst pass interference ever. Now, you ain't seen the worst call ever. Try looking at Saints games, like when the Saints forced the fumble loose, and Cam picked it up and started running with it, and the referee blew the goddamn ball dead without knowing what was going on. You won't talk to me. You don't get no sympathy from me from that kind of stuff. You ain't watching enough Saints football. See, them people spoil. They don't have the league going at them, pinpointing them, trying to stop them, use the referees every damn week. They don't have that. They don't have that experience to know what that was, to fabricate a whole thing. And they got people, they still got people stupid as hell still believing Browniegate was a real thing. They don't even realize that the NFL retracted that, then apologized to the Saints, but they didn't give the Saints any draft picks back or the money or whatever they took from them, but they had to recant that because they didn't have any real information. People still don't know that. They don't it's just like, because people don't do their research. They just believe dumbasses like Colin Cowpatty and Skip Skeletor Bayless and the rest of these jackass national people who don't know nothing about your history except for what they pick up in the media guide and what the statistical sheet has when they look at, and Drew Brees is throwing for such and such. That's good for 7%. And they run off a bunch of statistics to you to impress you, not knowing that they're reading off of a goddamn a stat sheet that was prepared by their stat department. It's like watching the musician, or not musician, watching a guy that makes an illusionist. It's like watching an illusionist make the Statue of Liberty disappear. Y'all remember that? Remember they had the guy, I forgot his name. I think his name was Chris Angel. Remember Chris? Y'all know who Chris Angel is. He one of the most famous illusionists in the world. And what they do is they trick your eyes. They trick your eyes. A long time ago, when they used to call them the Bunko Squad, when they used to go out and arrest snake oil salesmen, talking about they got the cure-all, used to walk around selling people medicine. They call it medicine, but half the shit was alcohol. And telling people this will kill your arthritis. This will get rid of your rheumatism. And then there's nothing 50%, 60% alcohol. You up there getting loaded as you can. Talking about, I feel better already. Well, they had what they call confidence men. And that used to be the old, they dress up. A lot of them would go prey on the widows that had fortunes. They'll prey on them and steal their money from them. They call them confidence men. And what they shorten it to con man, that's today's term for a confidence man, is a con man. Well, what's a con man? Somebody running a con. What's a con? Something that it's an elaborate game ran to trick your senses, to make you believe something that it isn't. He's an illusionist. He's He's running the con game. He's making you think that he's something that he's not. That's why I look at Colin Cowherd and see, and I tell you every time, he's a bureaucrat. He's a bureaucrat talking about sports. I mean, it's like, and that's why I can put them on TSC Q&A and light their asses up. All of them. And guys that used to play football, just because you played in the NFL, don't mean that you can turn around and talk about the NFL. Notice that's the trend that a lot of them do. And they need to get more serious guys that's not connected to the NFL to talk about the NFL so you get that real. You ain't gonna get none of these guys that's gonna come out here and talk about the NFL and they getting their goddamn money from it. I mean, come on, man. You talking about bias? I mean, you got players that came from the NFL they're gonna talk mess about the NFL. No, they getting their money from the NFL. So they paid to keep quiet about the NFL. And when somebody questioned it about the refs, oh no, that don't go on. I don't know. That's just some weird thinking somebody said. You know, that's absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why it's good to be independent. That's why we're unindependent, because etymology speaking, independent means that you're in a dependent state. Independence, in a state of dependence. It should be unindependent. We're not tied to dependent on nobody. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody that's untethered to the establishment, somebody that's untethered to the newspaper people out there so they can tell the truth when the truth need to be told. And they got a lot of people out there, man. I'm just blessed to be fortunate to be one of them among many great Saints people out there. And I give them credit all the time. I talk about Goose. I give Goose credit. I give Sport Talk 365. I give all the family members, Young Smokeless YT, all the family members that show love, NOS, and my little brother TJ, all of them. You know, there are a lot of, it's good to be part. And that's why I keep telling the family members to give your support to them, man, because they need it. Support their platforms, lift these people up on your shoulders and let them represent Saint Talk for the next 50 years and not let the establishment people have it. I hate to put on a show, but we can control this. We can annihilate this rotten network stuff about them talking about the Saints. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate Matt Moscona and a few of the guys from over there. I really only watch, every now and again I might catch Matt Moscona because I do message him. But I like Matt over there. I like how he think. I give him credit. I don't know too much about them other guys over there, but I hear I think 985 sent me something where they was talking about the they really hate the Saints. I'm like, man, where the hell you been at? Man, where the hell you been at? What rock you crawl from up under? I mean, good grief, man. That's been going on for years. It's just we didn't have the platform to fire back. We was too busy relying on as Buddy D would say, WWL. We was too busy worrying about them doing it. But nowadays, we don't need that, man. They got platforms out there that's representing for the great Saint Think Tank family, for the Who Dat Nation. And I'm glad to be amongst the number, marching amongst them with them. So I'd like to thank all of the family members. David Copperfield, there you go, Jim Kev. Yep, that's what they are. It's just what it is, man. Larry, we're going to have all that, Larry. We're going to have all that coming down the line sooner or later, bro. That's right. That's right. What Vilma wouldn't have it, Greg Williams wouldn't have a job either. A lot of the people that was tied to it got jobs now, if that was a bad thing. They apologized for that. They reneged and pulled that back. So why isn't that not covered when you talk about Bonnie Gates? So a lot of these brainless people that follow these other teams, they will believe the NFL's nonsense when I know the NFL ain't to be believed. How many years did they hold back the concussion data lying about it? And how many people went crazy, batshit crazy, because they got clubbed in their head all this time, and then they telling you there ain't no link to nothing going on, huh? Y'all remember that? Don't forget this stuff. I'm telling y'all. That's why the people at the top have so much disrespect for us, is because they say they got the memories of squirrels. They don't remember what. No, you're a damn lie. I don't have no squirrel memory. I remember every damn thing you did. And I recant it and calls it out on this show all the time because I don't forget. I don't forget what you did. I don't forget who you are, because you won't change. You can't change because you're funky, you're dirty, you're stinking, you're rotten. You're a rotten dog, and rotten dogs don't change their colors or their coats or their personality. You have to change them. You have to take onus of it. Like I said, they don't have any governors. They can't slow themselves down. It's up to you to stop their ass. So guess what? I'm going to stop your ass. So big ups to the rest of the family members in here. Much love to all y'all for joining me on the show. Forgive my passion. It's just what I am. I'm 100% real deal, Holyfield, just like the Who Dat Nation and the rest of the great Saint Think Tank. We in the building, baby. No doubt about it. So I'd like to thank all the family members for chiming in this episode of the show. We appreciate just over 2 hours. We're just over 12 o'clock midnight here. We're just over 2.5 hours of Saint Talk. But listen, we'll be back tomorrow, Monday, at 5 o'clock. I won't say 5 o'clock, for a 3-hour show. We'll go over all the interviews. Coach Payton will hear from Drew again. And all this kind of stuff. We'll cover all the news of the day, all the news of the day. We'll go over the statistics again tomorrow, and we'll also open up the phone line for more talk and communication for another 3-hour show. So if you ain't get in there for this show, don't worry. We'll have another one tomorrow, Monday at 5, breaking down the game, then some. So I'd like to thank all the beautiful family members for chiming in on this installment of the show. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shop as well. The Pro Shop, link in the description section below. Check out all the gear. All the purchases goes to empowering the platform. Please feel free to join our channels. If you have a Roku and Fire Stick, the PRO Media Network is on Roku and Fire Stick. Simply put in the PRO Media Network, and it'll pull up the channel and just save it to your channel where you save your channels at, and you can be able to access the show on Roku and Fire Stick. We also have the apps. The apps for the Sports Coma app is available on Google. Go to Google Play Store, put in the Sports Coma app, and download it on your phone today and never miss a show. And it comes with all of the content. You never miss anything. Everything is a part of it. And we talk about just the Sports Coma, the Pelican Post Game Report, all that's on there. You can have access to all of that. And the Apple app is coming out soon. Apple is slow, man. That's all I can tell you. If we got the designers working on it right now. And like I said, everything work. We waiting on Apple. They are slow as hell. That's all I can tell you. The other people, we good. These people, man, these people slow as hell, man. Y'all got Apple phones. Y'all know how that go. But anyway, I like to thank all y'all for joining me on the show today. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you hadn't hit the like button, hit the like button. Help the Great Saint Think Tank and the Sports Coma out by hitting the like. It's free. Hit it out. But thank you for joining us on the show, family. And remember, don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock with another show, recapping the game, and we'll open up the lines again for more communication and more talk. So thank y'all for joining us on the TSC, the virtual tailgate recap of the Saints get that grind out win against the 49ers 27-13. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk more about it. So who that to you? Thank you. Peace. And I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that? Who got cut and who back? Rookies and the vets. Players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma. You don't want to miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that family? Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that to you.